What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the E31 podcast. Tonight I got myself Hector, also known as CN6, and with me I got Mario.
What up?
Hav.
Yo.
Hav is back, by the way. Hav is finally back.
I've been MIA for like a month.
Yeah, dude. What the hell? Hav is back, bro. And we have a special guest in the building, Danny.
Hello.
Some of you guys might recognize him from our previous reviews of. Which one did we have him on?
He's been on the Batman. He's been in some discussion videos, like
yeah, but like the most recent one, like what
was it? John Wick?
was
John Wick? No, 65?
65.
Scream? Were you Scream with us?
no, not Scream.
He wasn't that? Okay.
So possible. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys know Danny. And we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a highly anticipated movie. Before we get into that, guys, I got a few announcements I got to get into. We'd like to remind you guys that you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Make sure you follow our socials at HeroVisionPodcast.com at HeroVisionPodcast, and then or go to HeroVisionPodcast.com to see all of our socials and stuff. Also, make sure you follow our second YouTube channel called Hero Vision Clips. That's where we'll upload all of our clips, our highlights and stuff. If you don't have enough time to listen to the whole podcast, we'll post all the highlights there. Also, make sure you follow our main page called Hero Vision to stay up to date with any geek news in films, TV, and video games. The socials are at Hero Vision, or go to HeroVision.com to find all of our socials and links. All the links will be down in the description. So yeah, before we get into the review, as you guys know, I have a few questions and stuff from some of our listeners and stuff, and a few comments as well. You know, some shout outs and stuff. So I guess the first person I want to shout out really quickly is Zion. Yeah, I know Zion.
Z.
He says this was fire. This was a fire vid, and he's talking about our PlayStation Showcase one. He was the one that said that he wanted more game reviews. He's like, can y'all review more games? And I'm like, damn. Yeah, he's calling us out, my man.
Damn.
So anyway, so yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that. We're also going to be doing a podcast on the Xbox Showcase, bro. So if you're listening, or like if you guys enjoyed that, June
11th.
Oh, that's
June
right.
11th.
You're right.
Yeah, June 11th.
I remember you sent me the picture.
So that's that. And so yeah, shout out to you, bro. And then the next person I want to shout out is obviously Josue. He says, "Hey, bro. I just want to say when I saw you guys reach your peak on your Fast X review reel, which is one of our clips on Instagram that did really well on IG, just wanted to say congrats on that. Also, I wanted to say I'm super excited. Hav is going to come back for the Spider-Man review. There you go.
Really?
This weekend. That's what he says right here.
Oh wow.
For this weekend. Also, I've been hearing lots of people asking questions, and I thought I was annoying y'all. But if I'm not, I wanted to know, what movie theater do y'all go to? Like AMC or different ones? Because I live in Cali. So I guess I'll start. Well, I mean, I was going to say, we all go together. We all go together, bro. We go to AMC, right? Mm-hmm. There's a few other ones and stuff, but we just prefer AMC because I guess, I don't know, it's just the nicest one.
Yeah.
I
was about to say the best quality, but considering what happened today, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you saw what happened with the Spider-Man. With the Spider-Man, I put the behind the scenes up there and stuff. Also, follow our Snapchat, HRV Podcast, because I want to put more exclusive like behind the scenes footage and shit over there. But yeah, the reason why I did it on Instagram is because I wasn't signed into that Snap. So yeah, man. AMC. Yeah, that's the one we go to. Honestly, I kind of like I said, I like it because it's better. In my opinion, I think the seats are bigger and they're nicer.
Nicer, yeah. Definitely.
They also have exclusive like popcorn buckets.
Yeah,
they do that shit.
Those are cool.
So yeah, that's the one.
I also like their Dolby Cinema auditorium.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, it's a little more money, but it's cool because Dolby Cinema. There are other movie theaters that will like when a movie's shot in like an IMAX.
Yeah.
You know, like when it's like that bigger aspect ratio, you have to go and seek out a movie theater that supports IMAX. But sometimes the projector doesn't show the movie in maybe that big of a quality. Mm-hmm. It just supports the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
With Dolby Cinema, if the movie is shot in IMAX, you actually watch the movie in IMAX while having high contrast colors and like, you know, it's basically like the most like color accurate and highest resolution movie that you could watch and stuff like that. Kind of has like the all-in-one bundle in my opinion.
Think my only complaint, bro, about the Dolby theater is that the seats.
Yeah, that's fast.
The seats are too like the seats in the normal theaters, they're more spacious, like wide,
Okay.
and they're more back from the from the wall that's in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
only like, and also the button. You know the button where you press your reclining seats.
Yeah.
I like the normal ones where it's on the side, where it's a button. You could just feel it. Boom. You can
Right.
easily move it. With this one, you have to fucking see where you're pressing the button, and not only that, it's fucking it's a touch screen
Touch
thing.
sensor thing,
Yeah, touch
yeah.
sensor. So like if your fingers are greasy from popcorn, it don't work. Like it just, you know what I mean? Or like you got to see it where the fucking button is.
Yup.
Right.
Like it was dark as fuck. I tried to recline my seat. I don't know where the button was. I couldn't see it. I gave up. I said, "Fuck it, I'm watching it
The
like
thing
this."
lights up. When you
Yeah, but
press
like,
on it.
I am. I tried doing that. It doesn't light up. So
Oh, what the fuck?
Maybe it was just your seat.
maybe, but either way,
Out of
but either way,
200 seats, it was that one seat.
well, either way, the seats are like not as spacious as the normal ones, from like this like actual seat wise, and the space between the wall in front of you. Like that's irrefutable. That's just, you know what I mean. So yeah, so that's the ones we go to. But yeah, he also wants to ask. Oh, and by the way, you're not annoying, man. If you want to ask questions, and stuff
Dude,
like
ask
that,
us
like,
a fuck ton of questions.
it doesn't matter. That's what I told him. He says, "Hey man, I just wanted
That's what I
to."
told
Yeah. Hey man, I just wanted to drop in and ask. I was originally gonna ask in the last message I sent, but I wanted to see your guys' thoughts on Secret Invasion. Honestly, for me, it's giving the Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Civil War kind of vibes. Serious, and the tension it has, it's finna be badass, in my opinion. So he just wants our thoughts on Secret Invasion.
Honestly, I think, in my opinion, he said exactly what I would have said. I completely agree.
Yep.
Based on the vibe of the trailers that we've gotten so far, which we've only had 2, it's definitely giving a much more grounded drama sort of atmosphere to it that I felt that Winter Soldier and Civil War had, definitely. But then again, here's the thing. I don't want to bet all my money on it because the second trailer for Quantumania also looked raw.
Right.
And then obviously we know how that movie turned out, right? We thought it was okay. So, you know, it's not been the first time that Marvel has duped us with a trailer that looks good. But I'm hoping this one is, man.
Yeah,
'cause
it looks
it's cool.
yeah.
It looks
It looks more serious. It looks more an actual. It just looks more of a show, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
And I'm
lie.
excited because this is actually like the first Marvel project
Yeah.
that we've gotten where Nick Fury is like the main protagonist.
No,
Because
yeah,
he's
you're right.
he's really been like a side character in
Yeah.
a lot of these other movies like Avengers and Iron Man 2 and all those, but like this is the first one where he is front and center. He's the
Yeah.
main character. It focuses on him. And in my opinion, bro, I think it's kind of a I wouldn't say an L, but I guess for lack of a better term, it's kind of an L that Marvel Studios hasn't used too much of Nick Fury because Samuel Jackson is one of the best actors working today and shit like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So the fact that he's only been a side character and he's not
Right.
really, you know, even recently, bro, I don't know if you noticed, but like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury had more screen time in like Iron Man 2 in the first 2 Avengers movies than he has in recent films like Phase 3 and 4. So I'm excited to finally see more screen time of him have the front center stage of his own project, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes.
Danny.
What about y'all?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mario.
I would just say, like, not just with Secret Invasion, but even with the Marvels. Is that what it's called?
Oh.
Yo, yeah,
The
that's
Marvels.
The
That's
Marvels
November.
trailer. The
Yeah.
number one thing that I think I just appreciated the most, because I don't know too much about Secret Invasion or the Marvels. I just I'm the casual, I guess. I'm the casual. One thing I appreciated the most was the fact that it felt high quality.
Oh, for sure.
Dude,
These
yeah.
last 2, get specific, I'm just like, these just feel higher quality, bro. And that's
Yeah.
when I don't know when we did it, but when we did the state of the MCU, the number one thing I said there, I was like, bro, everything just feels so cheap,
Yeah.
so rushed. And these last 2, I'm just like, bro,
Because
And-
90% of the screen is all CGI. The only
And
thing
le-
that's not CGI are the characters,
And
or the
legit,
actors.
a couple months later after we established that,
yeah.
that's when, remember, they finally came out and said, yo, we're going to slow down projects.
but
thank
why did
God.
that happen?
Because,
Because Bob Iger came back to be CEO of Disney. Remember,
yeah.
he left the company.
Right.
Then he came back.
And he said,
so
"What the fuck?"
rumor is, a lot of people theorize that him coming back as the helm, as like the CEO of Disney, not Marvel, Disney, right? Is that he saw what happened with Phase 4, and it's not confirmed. It's just rumors and theories, but people think that Bob Iger is the one that told Kevin Feige and them, like, hey, how about we don't pump out 6 projects in 1 year and try to space these bitches out?
That's facts.
You know what I mean? Because we were supposed to get like 7 things this year.
Yeah.
And now we bumped it down to maybe like 5. Because we have Quantumania. Secret Invasion is first episode is the end of this month.
Yep.
Then we have the Marvels, which is in November. And we have the Loki show and Echo. That's it. We were supposed to get like 2 other things this year, but obviously those got pushed. So a lot of people think that it's because Bob Iger came back as CEO that he's slowing shit down. Which, hey, I'm all for it. You know, if you slow down, if you slow down the projects, don't pump them out as consistently. It probably gives those VFX artists more time to polish the graphics, the visual effects and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I think.
And that's another thing too. Is like in those 2 episodes that we did for the pod, the State of the MCU and the State of the DCU, we had. To me, I still think those are one of our best pods. Because like we really had an in-depth conversation, and we would call out shit of what was wrong in those two spaces.
Yes.
And then months later, shit comes out where we call out
that we've called out.
So if you guys haven't listened to it, go fucking listen to it. It's fucking like, you know,
like
I'm not gonna call out the ops, but we're definitely bringing more value than the ops of the other fucking podcasts about the geek and bullshit.
Because we're just fortune tellers, bro.
Because we're out here giving true fucking value, fucking. We out here predicting this shit, having in-depth conversations, no bullshit, fake hot takes. I'm not gonna say nothing. Ops. Y'all fucking ops.
Bob Iger comes out. It's like, hey, so what made you guys delay everything? Honestly, there's this podcast to listen to. It's very small but very good podcast. HRV.
You know what?
They're all just smart, intellectual individuals. What can I say?
Hey, that'd be fun.
And what they said really stuck with me. What can I say? You know,
that'd be fun.
That'd be funny.
And there's one kid. There's this one kid in that podcast that really stands out. His name is Six.
Dumb.
Might have to make him co-CEO.
Hey, I'm taking that.
Hey, but you better get 50% equity.
I'm getting 50%. I'm getting 50% and firing everybody who made She-Hulk. Hey, and Thor, Love and Thunder. I'm firing everybody. Get the fuck out.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Let's fire the writers.
Yes, right.
I was gonna say, like, the camera people on them didn't really do shit.
No, yeah, the writers. The writers and the director. Fuck it.
That's funny.
Okay, but Danny, your thoughts on Secret Invasion?
I'm very excited. However, my only thing is I still am not fully. I don't fully like the idea of it being a TV show. I would have preferred a movie.
Oh wow!
Because I have spoken to you about it, Hector, and just because I do know a good amount of that like specific storyline, having to deal with like the Secret Invasion. You know, it's a pretty it's not a long issue, but it does have like, you know, a good amount of books.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not familiar with it.
I know
things,
but I don't know the storyline. But before you go on, I just want to ask a question about that. So he's like, "Oh, I prefer it if it was a movie over a TV show." Do you think that because it's a TV show that's going to drag on, it's going to be boring?
My only thing is, the one thing that I'm scared of is that it will drag on just because they're going to be putting a bunch of like, you know,
filler episodes or
filler. Basically, like they're gonna show us stuff that has nothing to deal with like the genuine story of it, you know. But like it's still gonna be a storyline within a storyline, if that makes sense. And that's my only issue with like having to deal with like something like Secret Invasion and having to make it into a TV show instead of a film. But you know, I'm genuinely invested. I'm excited. That's all I can really say. Same thing with Javi. You know, Nick Fury's back. You know, he's been in the shadows for a long time.
Yeah, dude,
you know,
the
only other time. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're not good, bro.
The only other time that I think that we saw, you know, a good amount of chunk in him in a film was Far From Home.
That's facts.
Far From Home, you know, but
even then, the post-credit scene.
Yeah, the post-credit scene showed us. You know, I'm sure everybody has seen it out. You know, everybody's seen that film.
Right.
It was a Skrull impersonating Nick Fury and
Talos.
Yep, he was Talos.
Right, Ben Mendelsohn's character, who's coming back for Secret Invasion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to springboard off what Danny said, I understand where Danny's coming from, right? Where like he feels that maybe the runtime will be too long. The way that I properly try to determine if a TV show did a really good job or whatever is I see it as like, okay, a TV show is going to have a longer runtime than a movie. A movie can be at max 2.5 hours, but when you're dealing with a show, you're going to have a longer runtime because now you're dealing with 5 to 10 episodes, each one 40 minutes to an hour long. Yep. So my thing is like when you watch for example, like when Secret Invasion comes out and we watch episode to episode, by the end, when all 6 episodes have come out, we can look back and be like, did it
Makes sense.
Did it run did it live up to the runtime improperly?
Right.
Because one example would be like, The Last of Us could never be a movie. You could never cram that much story in 2.5 hours. For it to be a show and to essentially be roughly like a 9-hour movie, if you want to say it like that,
So
would make more sense.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with what Jav is saying. So for you, Danny, you say that this storyline is short enough for it to be a movie. Because you said you wanted a movie, so like I'm assuming.
So the reason why I say a film, for me at least, is just because I would rather much be in the comfort of a cinema watching it. Just because if I have because I have seen the trailers, right? But if they're going about it as how they went about it in the comic books, because in the books,
how long is the run?
The books that I don't really know, man. Off of the top of my, all I know is from the story. That the reason why I like it is because it's all of the Avengers fighting themselves, right? Like everybody thought it was a clone version of all themselves, but in reality it was the Skrulls impersonating one another, and so nobody knew, if like you can have Captain America,
like, are you
Iron
Captain
Man,
America?
Hulk, be like, are you actually Steve Rogers? Are you Captain America? Are you a Skrull? And everybody was like, like all weary of one another, so it was a lot of like trust issues and just like is this guy who he says he is, or is he like just here to like impersonate him and try to get like.
So you're saying, based on the contents of the storyline, you feel like the level of action and hype that Secret Wars could have packed would be that equivalent to Infinity War / Endgame?
If anything, I genuinely if you ask me, I see Secret Invasion being just about as an Avengers level threat, as Thanos.
Mario Avenger level threat.
Just just because the Skrulls, it's a whole army of them. They have the ability to impersonate. They can shape themselves into anybody. Have their powers type shit. And it's like, all right, who the fuck is the real, hero, and who the fuck's the impersonator?
I could see that, actually.
So like that's why when I heard that the Secret Invasion was gonna be made, I first thought it was gonna be a film. Then that's when they announced it's a show, and I was like,
because now you don't think it's gonna have.
I don't think it's gonna have
as high of like, I guess not budget, but like as high as excitement.
As like action movie. And all that stuff.
I get you.
Yeah, and it's because like, from like the trailers, from what I've seen at least, it's. I was gonna say Sam Wilson, Samuel Jackson, like Nick Fury. He's the main character of it, whereas in the book take of Secret Wars, it's all of the Avengers, so it's legit like an Avengers movie.
So they should have had Avengers Secret Invasion.
And so my thing is,
that would have been cool.
My thing is, are we gonna see a bunch of these characters in the show? Because
I don't know.
We don't know.
Is the Secret Invasion comic line from 2008?
Yeah,
it's a recent one.
It's that one.
So to answer Hector's question, it is a self-titled 8-issue limited series.
Okay, 8 issues
with several tie-in books.
Oh.
And Marvel's promotional tagline for the event was, quote, "Who do you trust?"
Yep.
That's fucking raw.
Like
that is okay. So I can see where Danny's coming from. That look, he would have been cool. An Avengers movie dealing with Secret Invasion.
Because I genuinely think that they're an Avengers level threat. That's just me. When
I could see that
after like the whole Thanos
shapeshift, bro.
After the whole Thanos stuff, and then them bringing Miss Captain Marvel that late into the state of the MCU, I'm like, yo, are they gonna be doing some shit with like the Secret Invasion type shit? Now that they're introducing the Skrulls, but we got
they be what? What are they doing? What do they do?
Shape shifting?
They be shaped. Yo, Daddy be wanting him to shapeshift to a dildo. Like
what the
fuck? Daddy want to scroll to shapeshift to a penis, man. Like, hey, let's get it, man. What we on? It's morphin' time.
This motherfucker.
It's morphin' time.
No way.
This motherfucker.
But yeah, bro. But no. I mean, other than that,
Okay.
Am I disappointed that it's a show? No, I'm just as hyped.
Okay.
It's just I would have preferred a movie.
All right, because I don't want to make this too long. We're already 20 minutes in.
Oh shit.
So the next question is from Ariana. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Ariana. Probably not.
She's
what her question is? What are your opinions on how the movie ended? for Spider-Verse, and I guess we'll hold that off until we get there. So like, we'll just put a pin in that.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is from Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Sheldon M. 'Cause
Sheldon
we have
M.
two Sheldons.
Yeah.
So this is from Sheldon N. His questions are he has two questions. His first question is favorite comic book of Spider-Man. That's the first
Whatever
question.
Hector says.
All right, that's Mario. Okay.
All right.
Should we?
I've never read it, but I want to read Spider-Man Blue. I've heard that one's good.
Spider-Man Blue.
Yeah.
Which was that one?
It's the one where like Spider-Man's depressed as fuck.
And he has a blue suit.
He's dumb as. He's dumb as
No, I'm joking.
Is it?
It's the one where he records those tapes to Gwen Stacy, where he basically says like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you. I still haven't
Oh.
forgiven myself that you died."
Is this modern?
Modern-ish? It came out like maybe in the early 2000s. Let me fact check.
Yeah, it's modern. Early 2000s. Okay.
Let me make sure.
I don't think I
wanna
read
get it
that
wrong.
one.
Spider-Man Blue is 2002 to 2003.
Okay,
6
yeah.
issues.
Okay.
So it's basically it's called Spider-Man Blue because Spider-Man is feeling blue in
Yeah.
this comic run. But yeah, it's basically the one where I heard that he records tapes, like secret tapes, like what we do, right? We'll just
right.
press play and
Like 13
record
Reasons Why.
type shit.
Yeah, type shit.
But he dedicates them to Gwen Stacy.
You were my
basically
fifth
saying,
reason.
You're my fifth reason. How?
guy.
Danny, you're my sixth reason. Here's why.
You have a small cock. I just had enough weak dick energy. I'm just sick of it. I'm gonna end it. Oh my god. But okay, I'm surprised you said that. I'm surprised you wouldn't want to read. I'll get to it because it's I think it's one of my favorite ones. Danny, do you wanna go next?
I mean, honestly, bro, for me,
It doesn't have to be a comic because, like, to be honest with you, bro, some comics like they're part of a run and it connects to the next big thing. Because like one
Yeah.
comic, it's like 26 pages or something like that.
Right.
So you could. I say you could go for
Honestly,
a run
bro,
or maybe
well, can I count the
multiple ones. It's fine. They all connect to each other.
I was gonna say the one that Across the Spider-Verse is based off of the Spider-Man the Spider-Verse one. I forget what it's called.
With the ones that. What do you?
Let me see. Hold on.
I don't think I read that one, to be
Let me
honest
see,
with you.
hold on.
I'm supposed to be reading the older shit, bro. Not gonna lie. Like I would say, for me, man, I guess my favorite one would be which I'm surprised how you didn't mention was the
Yeah, there you go.
what is that called?
It's called Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. That's the name of the comic.
When did that come out?
It's 2014 to 2015 storyline.
Okay, yeah, I know it, man. Okay, 24. Okay. The one that that I guess I will mention, and I guess I'm surprised you might not mention, is from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, bro. Spider-Man No More, with Stan Lee and John Romita.
Oh yeah.
After John Romita took place with Steve Ditko, because Steve Ditko left after I think it was Amazing Spider-Man issue 37. I think that was the last one, and I think that starts at 38. And this was the verse, because the very beginning of ASM, from like issues 1 through fucking I think 37 or something like that, was legit typical comic book stuff, like, oh, like here's this, whatever. Like there's no really emotion or really that type of drive. We just get introduced villains and stuff. And I guess that
It's Freak of the Week.
What happened?
Like it's Freak of the Week. Like
Yes.
a new villain every issue.
Yes.
New episode.
In the first ASM from number with Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, from the very first one to right when Ditko left, they introduced Vulture, Green Goblin, Sandman. They introduced Dr. Octopus. So they introduced, I think one of the villains, I think it was issue 2 of ASM, was the Tinkerer. That motherfucker, which I don't really give a fuck. He's like a D-list, C-list character. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool. But like, it was just typical, like, oh, like who's this guy? Oh, I gotta stop him or whatever. And then once Steve Ditko left, John Romita came in the picture, and he actually he's really familiar with like romance type of novels and stuff like that. So once he jumped in the picture and he worked with Stan Lee, they made Spider-Man No More, that whole comic run, which I think is issues 38 through I don't fucking know, bro. It's just around there. All I know it's around there, and they start introducing Harry Osborn, Mary Jane, Gwen, and this is where Spider-Man's social life starts opening up, and we see the struggles of him dealing with being Spider-Man, and
Peter
and his love interests and his best friend Harry and stuff. That's the whole thing that like where we finally get to see that Spider-Man. We're like, oh shit, whatever. Other than the first introduction of Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 15, right? Where that's the first whatever. But like I said, the very beginning of ASM, that's where like it's just villains and stuff like that. This is where he finally like you see that more the Batman Daredevil dialogue type of like dialogue. Honestly, where like it's just more emotion and more. You know what I mean? I think that's my like favorite run with Spider-Man No More, and Hav is looking it up. Are you looking up the issue?
I'm looking up what was the issue run, but I can't find it.
Just look up Spider-Man No More. I think it's.
I did.
You can't find the issue?
It doesn't say. It just says that it's part of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1.
Okay.
But apparently, I didn't know Kingpin made his first comic book appearance during that arc.
Oh yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, because that's when they introduced like the more they added the love interests with Peter Parker. They also Harry Osborn. Yeah. And who else? And I guess Kingpin. And then who else am I missing? I could have sworn I'm missing someone. Yes, Gwen. That's when they did. They introduced Gwen and stuff. I could have. Bro, let me see. Spider-Man No More. What issue is that? I just want to see to make sure. Issues 39. Wait. Yes, 39. 39 through 58. Yeah, ASM issue 39 through 58. Right here. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I would say that's my favorite one, and I think in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, man, I think they did a great job, man. You know what I mean? I just, I guess I'm biased, and truthfully, what made me read that from Spider-Man that early on and those specific comic books and stuff was that movie. Obviously, like that's when I first really got into Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Other than the 90s or 80s show, the
90s show,
the 90s,
show,
with the Spider-Man. So yeah, I would say those are my favorite ones. I don't really I don't know. I know I should be reading like more modern and stuff, but to be honest with you, I'm not really reading a lot of modern. Like I don't really. I'll get to it. I just want to catch up on like the better stories in the very beginning. Because I know right now, especially if we're talking Spider-Man, I heard right now Spider-Man in the modern comic book world is trash right now. He's not doing well. Like people are hating on it and stuff like that, and like a lot of people are also hating that Miss Marvel is also like she's dying in one of the issues, and people are upset about that. Which I haven't read that. I don't know what the issue might be, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But okay, so yeah, so. I know, guys, we're 28 minutes in. Jesus Christ. This is bad. Okay, guys. So our last question. We're gonna go through this kind of quick. It's Sheldon M. His second question is also favorite show or cartoon of Spider-Man. Favorite show or cartoon of Spider-Man.
So a cartoon show.
I'm assuming
an animated show.
I'm assuming
of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
I think for me is the 90s.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
That's a
Spider-Man.
That's what I was gonna say. So
the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say that's my favorite.
That's a good choice.
I think I already know yours.
What's mine?
Spectacular.
Come on now,
Come
you
on,
already
man.
know.
Hey man, Spectacular, man. What about Mario?
That's facts.
I don't know the name of it. This is the one I just watched the most.
Ultimate?
I think it came out on Disney XD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that one.
Ultimate Spider-Man?
Ultimate Spider-Man. You guys remember there was an MTV Spider-Man?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, MTV, and like it was supposed to be canon with the Sam Raimi movies.
Oh shit.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. That was a real show.
I had no idea. But yeah, so that's all the questions, guys. So yeah, now we can finally get into it, man. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Felt like forever. The first movie came out in
2018. You said, right?
I think so.
That's what you said to
2018.
me.
Yeah, right, Hav? 2018?
What?
Is that the first Spider?
The first one, yes.
2018. So it's been a minute, bro, for this movie.
There was a whole ass pandemic.
No,
that's
yeah,
true.
That's
true, right?
Sure.
So yeah, it's been a long fucking time. I'm pretty sure we all love the first one.
Yeah.
We a lot of people are debating it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Right.
I don't know. I might debate y'all on that.
Debating
It's
what,
really great.
The first one or this one?
No, this
in general.
Into the Spider-Verse. The
Oh,
first
it's
one
the
is the
best
best Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
movie.
Okay.
But obviously the second
Even
one.
I saw that even Tom Holland declared it to be the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I was like, okay, weirdo.
I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
like, bro, it's a good movie, but I don't know if it's the best.
Here, actually, I don't know. Do you want to have this conversation now, or do you want to wait till later?
Nah, I think we'll wait later because we got to get into the review. We're already 30 minutes in,
All right.
so we don't want to go too much of a tangent. But whatever. So like, we've all anticipated this movie. We all love the first one. We're hyped about this one. We saw the trailer and everything. I mean, pretty much self-explanatory. We loved
the
it.
trailer spoke for itself.
The animation looks also
incredible.
Looks more improved
Yeah.
from the first movie, and so yeah. Okay, I guess we'll give.
I had a feeling this movie might flop.
Really?
Is that
Oh
just-
wow.
is
Okay,
that
let's
just-
hear
Hold on,
this. Let's hear this.
Is that just me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not think. Hold on, bro. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I had
go
a
ahead.
feeling this movie might flop.
Why?
Because usually when you are dealing with sequels, I mean, sequels don't ever do as well as the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of a common trope. I mean, look what happened with Shazam 2. Another reason why is because this movie is now dealing with different directors than the first movie had. And you know, when different people handle a sequel to a movie, to the first movie that did really well, it usually doesn't ever do as well as the first one. So when I heard that different people were going to be directors for this movie, I think they even had different writers. There's one writer that stayed the same, but they got different writers also, and then different people to direct the movie. A part of me was like, oh, great, like, because clearly these group of people made a good movie. They made the first one, but then when they leave and they get new people to tackle the sequel, that's when I'm kind of like, how good is it? You know what I
Right.
mean? But now, ever since when the reviews were coming out and I saw this Rotten Tomato score and everything, like people were calling it great and blah blah blah, is kind of when I started having a little more faith. But when I heard that the sequel was gonna have different writers and directors, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
might not do as well as the first one.
Right.
But I was the only one that was like skeptical.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they changed
Me neither,
directors
bro.
and
Me
writers.
From the first film, sorry to cut you off. From the first film, I know they had 3 directors, bro.
This movie had 3 directors,
Yeah.
That's
but they were
fine.
different people.
Yep.
Mm.
They had 3, bro.
Why,
Imagine
though?
that.
I have no idea.
I'm assuming it's just
Because the movie's just too big,
It's
bro.
probably
I mean, like
just
all
too
those
big,
different animation
yeah.
styles, the way that
because they gotta draw it, bro. Because it's a 2D, 3D, hand drawn, brought to life, type of art style. And Sony tried patenting it. I don't know if it went through, if they own that type of art style, but
I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is doing it.
is
Basically.
doing it.
Yeah.
That movie looks cool as fuck.
I feel like a lot of people, maybe
Are
a
gonna
lot
try
more,
to
are going to try to
copy
do
it,
that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, sure, because then we saw Puss in Boots do it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But it wasn't throughout the whole movie. It was just certain
Mainly, in,
scenes.
I feel like mainly in the beginning, right? In that movie.
No, I think it was
No,
throughout the
all,
movie. It was
all the action scenes.
Yeah, it was just certain
But not
scenes.
even the action scenes, like even the art style was different. Like if you see
Oh,
Puss
for
in
sure,
Boots
yeah.
from the Last Wish, and you see Puss in Boots like from, I don't want to be like bogus, right? And pick an old ass Shrek movie. Like take the most recent Shrek movie, take Puss in Boots in that movie, and then look at Puss in Boots in the Last Wish. Like the animation's different. Because when they were making those Shrek movies, they were like doing like the CGI animated shit where like they rendered it to look realistic. So Puss in Boots' fur looked like real fur, like on a real cat. Whereas in The Last Wish, it looks a little animated, like it looks like it's actually art and not CG. If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
even the art style was different.
Yeah,
That
Puss in
makes
Boots, The Last Wish, that's fire, bro.
That movie was really good.
That's
was
10 out of
fire.
10. Have you seen it?
I actually have seen it. Yeah,
It's
the film was fire, bro.
It's fire.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
it's a sequel that came out 10 years after the original.
To be honest, I kind of like the first one.
I don't remember.
I've
this
never
much.
seen them, bro.
Oh, okay.
I barely
I don't think I
remember
saw
the
the
first
first
one. I saw it
one.
in theaters and I barely remember
Because
it.
a lot of people don't really like it.
I remember
personally like
liking it when I saw it, but I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
But even then, like this was a sequel to a movie a sequel that no one asked for.
Right.
It's been more than 10 years since the first one came out, so everyone thought The Last Wish was gonna flop, and surprisingly, it was fucking.
Everybody
raw.
loved it,
It was
man.
badass.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But yeah, so they started implementing that same art style. So I guess Sony's is not gonna
Probably,
pan
yeah.
it. Maybe, I don't know. How can you pan it though?
I have no clue. I mean,
Like, it's just a art style. Though. I don't think you can't put a copyright on
or
that,
maybe they're trying to pan it like the comic book, like the shade. I don't know, the type of shades, the
Interesting.
colors brought to life, like all pop in, a mixture of all colors on the screen. I don't know, bro, but I know that that's what they were trying to do with the first one. I don't know if they're successful or if it went successful or not.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So now we're this movie. What takes place right after? Yeah, right after. We first get to look at Gwen's story for a bit.
Yeah.
Right. We see what she's gone through, and we see her past. And, like, what did you guys think of that whole beginning scene of like us finding out how she lost Peter, which was her best friend and everything? Like right from the jump, man. That was like
I'm
in
gonna be
the
honest.
feels. What'd you think, Danny?
I was gonna say, you know what, bro? All I can really say is that's how the fuck you start a superhero film, bro. Like immediately, it went straight to the point. Like in the beginning when she's playing the drums. I could say that. At first I was like, all right, what is she doing? And then after that, it just leads into her story. She's all depressed, because she got brought back to her universe. Especially after meeting Miles, she starts remembering Peter. And I guess it wasn't that long after, when she got teleported to Miles's universe, when her Peter had died. That's what I took from her little like short story in the beginning, right? And then
this movie takes place a year after the last one did.
And so then seeing Peter, get bullied, it literally, bro, I literally was like, bro, you're Spider-Man, but I'm like, wait, you're not Spider-Man, it's her. She's Spider-Woman. And then when he took the lizard serum and he became Dr. Connors, the lizard, that was a pretty interesting take for me, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
thought that
it.
was like to give him Spider-Man powers. That was the one I first thought. So when he busted out as the lizard, I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, I loved it though.
My question is this how it goes down in the Spider-Gwen comics?
I don't know. I haven't read
where Peter was like the best friend and they weren't really a love interest and he was the lizard. Like, is that how it goes down?
I have no idea.
I wonder if that's. Fuck. I wonder if it is adapted from comics, then I can appreciate them being a little more source material friendly. Like, I guess.
No, I was gonna say, that's a quick question. You know how they were doing during that part with Gwen, and they had like, the mom said, "Oh no, no politics at the table." What happened to the mom?
To the mom?
Did she die?
Gwen Stacy's mom?
Yeah. What happened to her?
I'm assuming that's why she's Spider-Woman, is because her mom died.
Her mom died?
That's what
I'm assuming.
But I could have...
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, because we did see her, right?
We saw her in the beginning. She's like,
stopped.
She's the one that says no politics at the table. I'm just like, what happened to her? Like, they didn't explain what happened to her.
Yeah, and
she just disappeared.
Or maybe
like, once they went back to the present, she wasn't there. It was just her and her dad.
That's facts.
Or maybe her parents got divorced.
But that's the thing. They didn't even explain anything. So I was like, did I miss a detail or something?
Well, then again, is it the
But I know. I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm just saying, like, what did y'all pick it up? But I don't think they...
Yeah, I think realistically, the writers were just like, let's be real. This bitch irrelevant. to the grander story, so let's just kind of forget about her. The audience will forget. Clearly not Mario, but like
no, I just picked up and I was like, what happened to the mom? Did they ever say something about her?
But no. Danny was looking up something. Did you look?
So it is comic book accurate.
Oh,
it says
wow.
It says what I'm looking at right now, people, is it says this entire sequence of events, and it's just showing 4 different pictures from with her book of Peter getting bullied. He makes the serum. He turns into a lizard, and then it's Gwen having Peter in her arms. So basically, what happened, what we saw in the movie.
That whole scene, man, was dope as fuck.
It was
bro.
fucking raw, bro.
And like it really, like right from the jump though.
It
like right from
just
right
like
there.
that,
I'm like,
bro.
dang, bro, that really. Gets
and I was gonna
feel.
turn to you, and be like, bro, that's how you start a fucking film.
And then like right after that, obviously we have
Just to Miles.
Right after that, she has kind of like I want to talk about this real quick. That she starts having issues with her dad. That's when we start seeing issues, right?
Oh,
because her dad is trying to look for
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman, yeah, right. Because he thinks that Spider-Woman is the one who killed Peter,
her best friend,
right?
Yeah.
And so we have that whole dialogue. We get a radio call, superhuman or whatever the fuck, right? they end up going, she ends up going, and then we see Vulture from a different dimension.
From a Renaissance.
And I thought that was cool.
That was raw,
like, what did
bro.
you guys think about Vulture looking like that? And like the animation on him too was a lot more different.
He was cool.
That shit
bro.
was cool.
Yeah, it
as
He
fuck.
was
cool.
cool.
It was cool.
I fucked with it. And then there was something that Spider-Man 2099 said about Vulture, but I couldn't quite hear it just because I was just too in shock and too like focused
Yeah.
onto the screen. But he rips one of his wings off, and then his wing
Dude.
It
randomly
back.
grew back.
Yeah.
And then that's when 2099 Spider-Man says to Gwen and the other motorcycle Spider Girl,
Spider-Woman. That's
That's
Spider-Woman.
that Spider-Woman, and he was like, "Oh, like Vulture has something." I didn't know what he said. I don't know if you guys picked up on what
he said. So like throughout the movie, when there's certain terms that are thrown out there in the bottom right or bottom left of the screen, there'll be like a little description of it, but it kind of goes pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
You think maybe it was that?
it was, so when he said that, a description of it was actually in the bottom right, and I wasn't fast enough to fucking read it and look at the fucking screen, so I couldn't understand what he
got
was
you.
saying. I don't know.
I
Did you
got
guys
you.
understand what he said?
No.
No, you didn't understand.
It was too fast.
It
I
was
saw,
too
I saw
fast.
the
That's what I'm
text, but I
saying.
couldn't finish. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I was like, what? I'm like, okay. I didn't understand. And speaking of those audio issues, man, a lot of people were saying that they were having a hard time hearing the dialogue in Across the Spider-Verse, and people were just reporting on that and stuff. So I was anticipating, oh dang, am I gonna, like go through that as well? And me personally, I even like turned to Ha, I'm like, yo Ha, blah blah blah. He said that he hasn't gone through that. For me, I have, especially I think it was more prominent when they introduce a new spider and they're introducing themselves, and they're like showing who they are, they're talking of who they are, a quick backstory. I feel like at those parts is when the audio was just a bit more muddy, in my opinion, and I couldn't really understand fully what they were saying. Like, and even some action sequences were like, I don't know, the audio engineering, the audio mixing of the dialogue mixed with the action and noises weren't really mixed really well. Like sometimes it was too muddy for me. I couldn't really hear it. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I don't know. I was wondering, did you guys? I know Hav didn't, but Mario and Danny, did you guys?
I'll let Mario go first.
Like, did you notice any audio issues?
No, for me the audio sounded fine. I didn't think anything sounded muddy or I couldn't understand anything really. I didn't think it sounded low.
Oh, okay.
And for me, it was fine. I never dealt with audio issues before in a movie theater, so I don't really know what that looks like. I mean, or hears like sounds like. My bad.
Yeah.
But to me, it sounded fine to me.
And speaking of audio issues, we also had issues in the theater, which we didn't even
Yeah.
talk about. We skipped through that, but
Yeah.
we'll go back to that
We'll get
after.
back to
Yeah.
that later. Yeah.
That's the reason why I wanted him to go first, because what I was going to say was going to bring up those theater issues. So what I was going to say, it was just in the beginning when it's Gwen playing her drums and she's like smashing, like all the different sets of drums, and like the audio was like very low, then it would go loud, low, mid, loud. And my thought was like, oh, that's probably just having to do with them trying to fix the audio issue, because of when we arrived to the theater. You can now explain what happened.
Yeah. Okay, but before that, you didn't hear any other audio issues throughout the movie?
No, it was just
Okay,
that in
so
the very beginning.
Okay, so
but my thing was like, I'm gonna give them that pass,
Right.
because I think it was just them trying to fix or buffer the audio, so the whole movie wouldn't be like that.
Okay, so I guess I'm the only one then, because I definitely heard some audio issues whenever there was extremely loud action sequences or whenever a spider was introducing themselves. I personally caught it. For everything else, I was fine, but always those moments where I was just like, okay, whatever. If people listening, guys, if you guys dealt with that or whatever, let us know in the comments. If not, then it's just my ears, right? But yeah, so before we're close to being late, guys, to the movie, and man, we're close to being late. Okay, we were low key. I was low key getting pissed. I was like, fuck, dude. You know what I mean? And so Danny out here driving like Tokyo Drift, driving fast as hell and everything. We finally get there, and turns out as soon as we walk in there, we're already maybe like 10 minutes after the movie originally started. The screen is black. And we're
So
like,
we
what the
thought,
fuck?
it's already starting.
We're like, yeah, what the fuck's going on? And no, it's just black. And we're like, and to be honest, when we were walking in, I was like thinking, is there anyone here?
Dude, yeah, I was like, bro, are we like, what the, like,
Yeah.
we're like, all movies canceled, y'all can leave.
Yeah, I'm like, is anyone here, bro? And then obviously, sure enough, we look over, and there's hella people,
It's
man.
packed.
Full.
And we went at noon.
Mm-hmm.
We go earlier now, so we could try to get the reviews a lot faster out, and to get the reviews out faster. and there was a lot of fucking people, man. And it was Dolby as well. It was one of the most expensive tickets for that time. So there was a lot of people, and I was just like, what the I'm like, okay, cool. And so we're there waiting and stuff, and apparently the people sitting next to us, we spoke with them and stuff, we were chit-chatting and stuff. They said that they were staring at it. First it was a blue screen, then it went black, and it was a black screen for like 10 minutes. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck's going on? So we're just chilling. One of the managers or something, assistant, whatever, comes out, explains what's happening. Hey, we're having issues with the theater. I mean, with the movie starting. We're going to try to do our best, blah, blah, blah. So in total, I feel like that took us, 25 minutes maybe?
About around there.
Yeah.
Because
something like that, right?
Because they had to restart it like
for
3
us,
times.
For the people, it was probably close to an hour.
Yeah.
That were there on
they
time.
They were probably waiting for a longer time.
Yeah, right. Like, not even previews. They didn't even get no previews.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So like they would play the movie and then it
with no
freeze.
audio.
Yeah, with no audio, and then it freeze.
And then they would reset it.
Yeah.
And same thing, no audio. And then they played the audio.
Mm-hmm.
They freezed it to rewind it back to play again with no audio.
Yeah, it was a shit show, man. That's never happened to me. I never experienced that. Yeah, right. That shit was. I even asked Hav, I'm like, Hav, and your expertise in this field, all these years,
yeah,
and all these years of you going to movie theaters, has this ever happened? He said, nah, bro. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy, bro.
It's only happened to me once, and it was when I went to go see Endgame. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. Infinity War.
The fuck?
Wow.
Infinity
Where
War.
at? In AMC? Right here?
No, the one in Gurney at Marcus Theater.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what happened. If you guys go to if you guys go to our Instagram, right, at He-Ray Vision Podcast, we posted a couple videos of us, fucking up on our like just showing behind the scenes of what's going on in the
at
theater.
Our little studio.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
technical difficulties.
So, and not only that, I'm also gonna upload a clip as a reel on Instagram and like everywhere else. So if you didn't catch the story, it's gonna be up there on one of our socials. If you guys go check it out. But yeah, that was fucking crazy. Okay, so after that, okay, what the fuck? Where are we on it right now? Okay,
so wait, you want to get into all like spoilers?
Yeah, this is a spoiler review.
Okay.
I forgot to mention it at the beginning.
So then after
no, it's in the title.
So after she's we see she's having issues with her dad. Her dad gets the call saying there's like a monster. Her dad goes, the captain goes, Gwen follows right behind him, and we don't know it's Vulture till she gets in. She gets in, right? Then out of nowhere, 2099 Spider-Man pulls out, and he likes web slings Vulture, and he's trying to help Gwen, assess the situation. They finally pin his ass down. They think Vulture's down for good. They have dialogue between them two, and he's basically telling like, yeah, I can, I'm responsible for this. He's not from this dimension. I have to take him back. That's my job.
Yeah, because in the first movie, that's when they disrupted the multiverse.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
Space-time continuum is what he said.
And so Miguel O'Hara, shout out to the Mexicans out there, and Irish, I guess, half Irish. Why can't they just make them from Mexico or whatever? Hey man, shout out to my Irish out there.
Nope.
Right. His goal, I guess he's playing Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yeah.
Or single Guardian.
The one thing too that I like, sorry to cut you off, bro. What I like is that we could even call this as like from Loki, the TVA, the Spider-Man version of the TVA, where it's where it's 2099, right? And he's like legit the main dude in charge of the entire thing. Yeah. And then so then it's just them two. Then out of nowhere, Spider-Woman shows up in her sick ass bike, and it's them three. The one thing that I found a little bit strange is that it took 3 of them to pin down Vulture, bro.
Amen.
So my thing was like, bro, is this dude from the Vulture from the Renaissance? Is he like the real deal? Because there's no way in hell it should have taken 3 of them, bro. I just found that a little funny.
Well, I think it's for the sake of the story. They probably
then again, Spider-Man was pregnant.
Oh, you're right. She was pregnant. She was pregnant.
That's why she was on a motorcycle.
But still, with 2099 and Spider-Gwen, and then like we see this cool, sick ass like real animation where I think it was Vulture who like threw a bomb up at the ceiling. It exploded. He and like there was a helicopter and he like sliced that bitch down and it was falling into that little like art museum because that's where they were all fighting. And so you see this sick ass, animation where it's Gwen, webbing up, making like a big web at the bottom because there was a bunch of civilians at the bottom. And then it was between them three, the spider people. They were webbing up the helicopter to prevent it from crashing and landing on the people. I found that dope as hell, bro.
No, that
was
was
cool.
and
That
then,
was cool.
And then right after that, we get another really heartfelt moment with her father,
her and her dad, because
Right.
she's out of web. She's hurt from the battle, and Captain.
Because remember he's looking for her because he thinks that she is the murderer. She is the
Peter
murderer.
Parker.
She's the one that killed Peter Parker. Right. That's his thoughts. So after that whole incident, she uses all of her webs to make that web in the bottom to catch the helicopter. Right.
Yep.
So she's really on her way to leave. The captain pulls up. Her dad.
Yeah.
Hey, hands in the air. She's trying to web. She can't. She's out of webs.
Yep.
And now it's a standoff. He has the gun in front of her and stuff. And that moment, this is where it's kind of really heartfelt because we see her finally like unmask herself and reveal, hey, like
It's me.
right? Like, and you can see just the
Shock and disbelief
in his
on
face.
The face, yep.
And he just doesn't know what the fuck. And I guess where it got me as well, I'm like, damn, bro, is you could see the pain, right, that he's feeling, but he still says, you have the right to remain. You have the right to remain silent. Yeah, and he starts reading the Miranda rights,
To her.
despite, you know what I mean?
His only
exactly,
child,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
Yep.
That's me like, dang, that was a hardcore scene, bro. I was like, oh shit. And then Miguel O'Hara on Spider-Woman, they're
Webs
like, all
us
right,
up.
we're trying to webs him up. He's like, all right, guys, we're finna leave.
Yeah.
You know, our goal is this, whatever.
So
And
he's trying to
then-
just dip. And
Yeah,
the
he's trying to
Spider
dip.
Woman is like, no, we can't leave her. You know.
Right, because what does he say? What does Miguel? She
That
says
that she's a liability.
no. Doesn't Gwen? Oh, she says that.
No. 2099 says that to Spider Woman, saying like, no, like we don't need.
No,
her.
I'm saying Gwen says something, and then Miguel is like, "Welcome to the club," and throws her that.
No, it's because Spider Woman convinces him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why does? Okay, do you remember? Hop, do you remember what was said?
No.
It's because they were right there, right, and like they like overheard is what we assume because we didn't see them, pull up until the dad was saying the Miranda rights to her, to Spider Gwen.
I could have sworn something happened. Like someone said, like I think Gwen said something. Oh, I'm not wanted, or like something like that. And then that's when Miguel was like, "Well, welcome to the club," and tossed her that that wrist shit.
No, he recruits her
Oh, he just says that just to recruit her.
he just says it after Spider-Woman says something to him.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said.
saying
Oh,
like
okay.
we can't just leave her. She's
Right.
gonna be on her own or something,
Right.
Because
So-
sorry, go on.
So I just don't want to, like I said, the movie's long. I don't want to go super in depth. I just want to capture the main points
Right.
and like the really best scenes. I just want to think, just really quickly, what that whole scene with the father, in disbelief and stuff. Mario, like, I don't know. What did you think of that scene, bro? Did you think that was like, dang, that's another banger. It's another certified classic. Because I really liked that scene a lot, man. I was like,
No,
that actually hit.
That was a good scene. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It must hurt for Gwen.
It just adds a lot
my
more
own
character
dad.
development
Yeah.
towards her,
Yeah, I like this whole intro because Gwen is another main character in this movie, and she's in the movie a whole lot, so it makes sense to give her a backstory where the viewer, people in the audience can be like, oh shit, I care about Gwen. Because if
true.
this shit was short, like we got the other Spider-Mans,
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't have cared as much. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's true.
So I think, like Danny said, it was the perfect way to start the movie because we had to care about Gwen more out of everybody here.
Yeah, and so I just want to talk about Miguel's obviously his intentions, right? He blames Miles, doesn't he, for disrupting the multiverse, right?
Yes.
He ends up blaming him and Gwen and everyone. No, I think it's just him. I think it's just Miles. Right?
No, it's just Miles. He blames just Miles.
And so obviously because of this disruption, many different villains and many different other, I guess, spider people, whatever, are going to different dimensions that we're not supposed to, and that obviously fucks up the timeline. So Miguel's job is that, okay, I'm trying to fix it. So he's going into all of these different multiverses, trying to defeat the villains and bring them back to where they're originally from.
Mm-hmm.
And they use this in order to time travel to, I guess, dimension hop or whatever, universe hop, whatever, is these things on their wrist, so it doesn't cause them to glitch out on some Wreck-It Ralph shit. You know,
Yeah.
remember that? So that's how they move around and everything. That's how we find out. That's his goal, right? And later on, we find out like
His backstory.
right, which I thought was really cool. We'll get to that in a bit. And I guess the next, let's see. So that's his goal. Miles, we see Miles. Everything's going well for him. And then I guess the first time we actually see Miles in costume is when Spot is introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So let's get into Spot, guys. What did you guys think about Spot? Like, did you guys know who he was already, or did you guys find out about him through here, or what do you guys think? Hav, like, let's start with Hav. What do you think, Hav? What do you think about Spot? What'd you know?
I didn't really care for him as a character before this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't really know much about him. This was more so my first introduction to him in this movie. And I thought he was just okay. I didn't think he was all that until later on in the movie when he started getting more powerful and I started to see how much more of a threat he was. But when he was first introduced, he felt very freak of the week. He felt very like just one-off villain, like, and kind of like a nobody type of deal. But when once he gets more powerful, I was like, oh, okay, this guy's the real deal.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So Mario,
Nah.
was this your first introduction to him?
Yeah, but see, I was like, I'm like Hav, but like this is the first time I ever heard of him,
Oh, okay.
seen him, or whatever the fuck. I thought exactly like Hav. I thought this guy, like they said in the movie, he's the villain of the week. Like he's a nobody really, right? And honestly, he didn't really appear a lot in this movie. You really think about it,
Yeah.
you know. But you tend to, you know, he ends up being more than just a villain of the fucking week. Obviously, it turns into a much more powerful character, but. You know, I think it, you know, given the fact this ends on a cliffhanger, I think it's going to be worth the build-up with him at least.
Mm-hmm. With I guess with Spot, well, I mean, that makes sense for what you guys said because Spot, he's a C-list character, man. He's not really popular like that. I guess my first introduction to him was in the 90s Spider-Man. He was actually there, and they actually did his origin really well in the comic books because I guess because here is different. Here's a lot more different. We'll get into how he was in how he became Spot here in this universe. But in the comics, Danny, did you say that you have something for that? Did you want to talk about it? Or did you want me to?
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, a little bit of, I guess, his origin. But if you want to do that, you can go ahead.
You go ahead. If you know, if you got the origin ready right there,
Yeah.
you go
So, you want me to just read the whole thing,
ahead.
or do you want me to like
however-
summarize it pretty much?
I mean, you could summarize it.
Okay, so pretty much, you know, it's a researcher
Mm-hmm.
scientist of the name Dr. Jonathan Ohan, Ohnn. How do you say that?
OH what?
Ohnn. On. Is that okay? Dr. Jonathan On is his name, and basically he attempted to replicate teleportation powers, and this is in the book,
With
right? This is with,
was it Cloak?
What's up?
Or
It says attempts to replicate teleportation powers, but winds up accessing a different dimension associated with the Dark Force, gaining the ability to travel by the way of portals. He becomes a supervillain known as Spot.
Okay.
That's what it
Oh,
says.
I thought you were gonna go a little bit more in depth. Just to give more in depth, he was actually, he was a researcher, scientist, whatever. That actually worked for Kingpin, and he was working for Kingpin, and he was trying to replicate Cloak's powers. That what's his name, man? Let me see. So he was trying to replicate his powers. Not only that, at the time, I guess Kingpin's wife, right? She was not doing well, so he was saying, "Hey, can you also replicate this person's power to you save my, my wife and stuff?" Sure, I mean, I could try or whatever. So then he starts finally. He does what Danny's doing some experiments, typical experiments gone wrong, and he sees this he builds this black hole, this black portal, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" He gets inside and it just transforms him. And then he has all these spots like all over him. He's like, "Oh my god, like look at these powers. Should I?" He's debating. Should I tell Kingpin about my powers? Blah blah blah. Or should I go my own way? All these different things. And he decides, obviously, going his different thing. He decides on his name, and I think that was what was kind of funny as well in the movie. Is once we see him in the movie, he's kind of goofy and stuff like that. And he finally introduces himself to Miles Morales. Miles Morales kind of laughs. Is like, what the fuck? And it's funny because in that same, I think it might have been that same issue with Spot, or I think maybe the next one, he ends up finding Spider-Man and he introduces himself like how he did in this movie, like, I'm the Spot. And in the comic books, Peter starts cracking the fuck up. He starts laughing. He starts with a Spot. What the fuck? He starts laughing and joking around, just like how it was in the movie. And one thing I guess I was like kind of worried of what they were gonna do with Spot is he is kind of like funny, a little bit goofy, but he also is like serious. And the very beginning when we saw Spot when he's trying to steal the ATM and everything, he was like really fucking goofy, like really fucking goofy. And I was thinking, I'm like, dang, is he really just gonna be like this, like just clumsy and just like, is he not gonna be like a serious type of villain like towards Miles? Like, is there going to be another villain that's randomly going to cut him up that's actually a bigger threat, and Spot is just like a fucking
side,
right? I'm like, what the I'm like, oh, I hope they don't do that, you know what I mean? Because like Spot's pretty cool, you know. And no, sure enough, man, we see him fucking become more powerful and become actually more badass. He's actually, because in the very beginning we see he doesn't even know how to use his powers. Remember, he doesn't even know how to use his powers. He's like, what the fuck? I can't, like, I'm trying to steal this money from this ATM. Oh my gosh, like he's clumsy and stuff. And then later he starts being like, he's being more self-aware. He understands how to use his powers. He realizes that his powers, he could travel through different through different universes, different dimensions. And once he started becoming a bit more serious and stuff, I think I started to like him a lot more. I was like, oh shit, especially like when he transformed like to that black, like he's all black and he has that white spot on his face. That shit, he looks raw as fuck. Yeah, you know what reminds me of? Destiny, bro. You know those black figures, those black like misty type of figures from Destiny? Yeah. Not the Fallen.
The Vex?
They're like blue. They're like blue and black.
Oh, blue and black.
Well, like the blue is kind of mixed with black with the mist.
I know you're talking about the Awoken?
Something. Yeah.
Awoken?
Like the enemies.
Oh, they're enemies?
Not the enemies, bro. The ones that you shoot at in the raid. The raid that we played.
That was Vex. We fought Vex.
Okay, then I guess it's Vex. Like, you know how like they teleport a little bit, and they have that black like mist, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, Hav? For some reason when Spot was turned black like that, it reminded me of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one on that. But yeah, I mean, Danny, what about you, bro? Did you think that he was gonna stay that way, or
when he got like, you know, he was just being like very silly and, you know, as a joke. That's how I took him in the beginning. I was just like, all right. I was like, I'll see, you know, where this goes. And then slowly, you know, as he tells Miles how he became, you know, Spot, I was just like, you know what? That's kind of cool. Like his little origin story in the movie, that's pretty fucking cool. Then we start seeing him, you know, go from universe to universe because of his powers, and he like starts to absorb all that like dark.
Cloak and Dagger. That's the dude they try to replicate.
Oh, okay.
That dude.
He starts like, you know, like just absorbing all that like energy, and then eventually, you know, he turns. He gets to that whole like black silhouette with like just the white spot. How Hector was mentioning. So I thought that was cool as fuck. You know, I although we can't really say too much, just because like Mario said, the movie did end on a cliffhanger. Which we'll get to, you know, our opinions on how it ended. And, you know, all I can say is I'm excited for next year, bro. Or in a couple months when the second part comes out, you know, and then we finally get to see what Spot can actually do with all that, you know, energy.
Did you guys think he was going to be like a side character? Or did you guys like have that type of feeling? Oh, okay, he's kind of goofy. There's probably like a bigger threat that's going to be introduced or something.
And definitely in the beginning, yeah.
I wouldn't say a threat.
Okay.
I thought maybe a different plot device, like a different plot detail.
There we go. Okay.
That's what I meant. I thought like, oh, we're just going to have him fight Spot just to have a little, you know, Miles action shit, you know. Because if you notice, when he's fighting Spot at the same time, there's also that whole thing where like his parents are waiting for him in the office to be with the counselor. Yeah. So I thought maybe this was just like some BS
introduction.
Like an introduction, like a typical like, oh, where's Miles? Where is he at? And he's out here fighting a nobody, irrelevant freak of the week thing. And I just figured because based on the trailers, we know that they heavily marketed the Spider-Verse and all these different Spider-Man, and there was a Spider-Man club with all these different Spider-Man and blah blah blah. And I thought that was going to play a bigger part in the movie. Which, by the way, I guess I'll just say it right now. I'm surprised how in this movie, I guess in a way it was expected because it was 2.5 hours, but I'm surprised how much time was focused on what was marketed, like you know what I mean, like what was not marketed. Like the trailers heavily marketed the Spider Society. These people, right?
Yes.
But when you go and watch the movie in its 2.5 hour runtime, I'm surprised how late we got to that point of the movie. Not that that's a negative. I'm just surprised that this movie took its runtime to its benefit and used the runtime to kind of lay the groundwork for where we are at with these characters.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Yeah, I expected the movie to start off with some Spider-Man web swinging action shit, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna see the Spider Society any time now, right? And it's like, no, the movie starts off with like what, maybe I want to say 15 to 20 minutes of a Gwen Stacy groundwork where we see where she's at and her character development and blah blah blah. Then we get to Miles and how he's building tension with his parents because his parents are getting mad at him and he's trying to get into college, and then the whole Spot situation. And then Gwen meets up with him, and I'm surprised just how much story we were able to see before we actually saw the Spider Society.
Right.
So
So
based on the trailers, it made it seem like that was going to be a big part of the movie, and they don't even show up till like halfway through, maybe a little more than that.
and not even for that long, as well.
That's true.
And they don't really do as much.
That's also true.
Other than that, 10-15 minute chase sequence when they're trying to
get him.
Yeah.
Track-
Or when they were being introduced.
Right,
When he first shows
exactly.
up and he's like meeting all of them one
Yeah.
by one and stuff like that.
How can all those spiders not catch Miles, man? That's crazy. No, not even Spider Cat.
Oh yeah.
I caught a bunch of references that I could tell Hector didn't know. Like when I spotted Spider Cat.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I know that from the Insomniac Spider-Man game.
Well,
Miles Morales.
I don't know from the.
I never.
I'm asking for these guys.
Oh,
That's how I knew Spider Cat.
I got you.
No,
No, I didn't pick up
uh,
on that. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Really?
I didn't pick up on that.
Because there's a
you
side
didn't play
mission
the, you
where
didn't play the Spider-Man game.
I never finished it, but I played it.
Oh,
Oh. Did
I
you
never.
play Miles Morales?
I never played Miles Morales.
Damn, I'm the only one.
I played the Spider-Man game. That fully.
Right,
played
right.
that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in Miles Morales, there's a side mission, and there's like a suit that you unlock because you can unlock different suits for Spider-Man, and one of them is like he carries a Spider Cat in his backpack and shit, and it helps you like fight enemies and shit like that. So when I saw it, I was like, "Get the
That's
fuck
funny.
out of here, bro! Really, Spider Cat?"
okay.
So it was kind of like a funny moment.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was in the game, or okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, but like, I don't know. What do you think it was kind of believable? All those spider people couldn't stop him. Come on, man.
Hey man, Miles
Come
just built
on.
different.
Come
What you mean?
on.
He a glitch, girl.
You right?
He an anomaly.
Yeah, that's true.
You right?
Yeah.
I guess so.
You know, bro.
Means nothing.
You know, bro. After
he ain't real Spider-Man.
After
We'll talk about that.
2099, bro, like mentioned all that shit he said about Miles, and he said it to Miles, saying, "You're the reason all of this is going on. You're
That's
not,
crazy.
You are not supposed to be here." Just
That's heavy,
just
bro.
indicate-
Imagine that being dumped on you.
Just indicated to me, bro, that the reason now that I believe why they couldn't catch him is because all of those Peter Parkers, all of those Spider-Man, they can't compete with Miles Morales. I truly believe Miles Morales is a top tier, Spider. He's one of the top tier Spider-Men over just your standard Peter Parker because he was never meant to be Spider-Man, and this movie showed us because 2099 said it to him, and that's when I was trying to talk to you in the theater, and you said, "Oh, we'll speak afterwards." Like, this is what I'm gonna bring up. What I wanted to bring up to you in the theater.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that the reason why, bro? Like, it's so crazy to me is that he should have never been Spider-Man.
Who?
Miles.
And the only reason why 2099 even made that whole like TVA Spider-Man edition, little like Spider Army. What are they called? The Elite
Spider Society?
Spider Society, yeah, is because Miles got bitten, unfortunately, by that radioactive, spider that Spot created when he was as a human, when he was a researcher, right? It escaped and it bit Miles, right? And then 2099 says it's your fault that all of this is even going on, because if you would have never gotten bit, Peter Parker from your universe would have been alive, and he would have stopped the collider from, you know, the collider, and he would have stopped Kingpin, and none of this would have been fucking happening. So your Peter Parker would have prevented all of this, right? But you had to be the one fuck up in the mistake of getting bit by that spider, which led to all of these, you know, which led to all of these events, you know, happening one after the other, you know. And to me, I was like, damn, bro. I was like, that kind of just told me that, you know, they all kind of fear Miles because Miles is that motherfucker, you know. And I know that's like a hot take, you know, like who's the better Spider-Man, or is Miles Morales Spider-Man? You know?
Oh shit!
I know that's a hot take for some people. Me, after watching this film, because I'll be honest with you, right? Just before we get into that hot take, I used to believe that Miles Morales...
Oh, so this wasn't the hot take yet?
No, this wasn't the hot take. I'm leading into this. But like, I used to think that Miles Morales wasn't a Spider-Man. You know, because I was just... You know, I grew up with Peter, right?
Oh,
and so then after this film, I now believe that Miles Morales is, you know, is a Spider-Man that Peter Parker just can't compete with, which leads to the fact that now I understand why all of those Peter Parkers from all those other multiverses couldn't catch him, including 2099. And 2099, he barely caught him too, bro. He barely caught him.
Or did he get lucky?
That's true. Or did he get lucky? But to me, 2099 barely caught him, bro. You know, and when he did catch him, Miles, you know, is like, you know, you know, I build my own destiny, and you're not about to stop me from, you know, from me creating my story. And that's when, you know, he fucking, like, what is it? He electrocutes, you know, 2099, and he just fucking jumps off from whatever the fuck that
tower thing was.
He's saying that the reason why those spider people couldn't get his ass because they can't compete with him. And that Peter Parker himself can't compete with Miles Morales.
Well, he tripping.
I disagree. I disagree with that shit, man.
That's fine, bro. That's fine. It's just like after walking out of that movie,
That's
the
crazy.
reason why I was so speechless, bro, is because it all makes sense. Is because from the first film, if you guys think about it, from Into the Spider-Verse, if Goblin never would have like had, you know, his Peter Parker in his like claws or whatever the fuck he had him, and like push him into the collider when it was like turning on, and when it was on, Peter would have never seen, you know, like what Kingpin's plans were trying to do or trying to be, which was to bring his family from other realities, right, or other universes. And then all the other Spider-Man people, which were Noir, Spider Porker, you know, Penny Parker, who else? Who am I missing?
That was it.
Oh, Gwen.
Well, Gwen and Peter and
Peter B. Parker. Yeah, none of their spider senses would have like gone off. And I truly believe if it wasn't for Goblin, you know, pushing Peter into the collider when it was on, none of this shit would have been happening. And you know.
Okay, so just really quickly.
Yeah.
Because they right there at that moment they established that Miles is an anomaly because the spider came from a different universe.
Yep.
The spider came from a different universe, and it was supposed to bite Peter Parker in that universe, but instead it bit Miles. Okay, that's what he was saying. That's what Miguel O'Hara was saying.
How did the spider get to his universe?
That was a question I was really about to ask. I was like, how the fuck did that happen?
I think the way that happens is we completely skipped it. Is we find out who Spot is.
Yep.
Right.
I'll let you do it. I'll let you talk.
Motherfucker, I need help. I kind of forgot.
Oh, okay.
Because with Spot. This from what I remember, because remember Spot says, "I created you and you created me," like that type of shit. We're our nemesis.
Yeah.
Yep.
And by that, it's because when they were at the what did he say, man?
What was that company called? They were at that place.
Alchemax.
They were there.
Alchemax, yeah.
Okay, he was. I forgot, dude. No,
He was one of the scientists guys.
He was
One of the
scientists
scientists
that
guys that
Miles
got hit by a bagel in the first movie.
Yeah.
He's the one that got hit by the bagel.
right.
Yeah.
But why did he? What caused him to become Spot again? Did he went out and do that himself?
When the collider went off the
because Miles blew that up or something.
at the end of the movie when all the spider people went back to their home.
Yes.
And then Miles Morales had that. It's funny because I rewatched Into the Spider-Verse last night to remember for this movie. he had that last boss fight with Kingpin at the very end at the when the collider was going off. So when he defeats Kingpin and crushes and destroys the machine and saves the city, right? When the machine exploded, he said that I don't know, some shit in some vials, like some liquid got on him and it mutated him to have white skin with spots on it.
That's what happened, but how did the spider get into this universe, Danny?
I'm glad you're bringing this up, because if you guys remember,
Because I could have sworn it was with Spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was with this was before he was Spot. So if you guys would have picked up in the film, this was when Gwen made her appearance into his universe, and she places some little spider with video cams right attached to it, and she's seeing it from her watch. She meets up with Miles, so she's there to get Spot, right? So then after Miles and Gwen meet up, Gwen's like, all right, I gotta dip, I gotta leave because I gotta go get Spot, bro. Some shit happened, right? That's when his parents pulled up, and she's like, I gotta dip because that was that lady from her watch telling her like, yo, some shit happened with Spot. Like this dude, he made a little collider in his apartment. So then we get to the apartment, bro, and you see on the wall, like with all the holes, you see a 42 spider that was already there. And because when he was in his human form before he turned into Spider, he was already building a teleportation devices to other multiverses. And so what I'm thinking, right, it's not confirmed, what I'm thinking is he went into a different multiverse and he was successful with it. He brought a spider from a different universe back to the Miles Morales universe, and it escaped. It escaped.
Yep. Because don't you remember when we went back to that apartment? Don't you remember there was a spider encased?
Yup.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of cases, and there was only one dead 42 spider.
But technically speaking, though, Miles Morales got bit by that spider way before this guy became Spot.
No, but that was his apartment before him being Spot.
This was when he was still in his human researcher form.
Oh. I'm thinking about when he when Gwen was doing that hologram shit.
Yeah, that was his apartment. Yes, that was that part. But what he said, he went back to his apartment. That was his apartment back when he was a normal researcher, working for that company.
Yeah, you saw all of his plans, his vials, all of his like experimental spider.
So he already had those spiders with him when he was in his human form. And obviously, once he got rid of the spots, right? He's like, I need more spots. Where did he go? He went back to his apartment, and that's where we see that Easter egg, where we see these glass cases broken, and we see that spider.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it happened. That's what he means when he said, "I created you. You created." Yeah. Yep. Oh shit.
And because if you guys remember from the very first,
nobody's bringing you this much value, bro. Fuck the ops.
And who though? Name drop.
I ain't gonna say.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I ain't gonna say.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna say it till we blow up.
You know what my theory was? I thought that the spider came from another universe because of the collider.
That's what I thought too.
That's what I thought. Because remember in the first movie, we were all like, hold on. We all thought there was a continuity error in the first movie, where like if all these spider people came when the collider went off the first time, why was Gwen here all this time from the beginning of the movie? She explains that when she came to Miles' universe, she came and she said, I got to the universe and it was a week ago. That's why. She said when the collider went off and she was pulled from her universe to Miles, she came in, but it was a week ago, before the collider went off.
That's a good theory.
That's a good theory.
So
but
I think maybe that spider, same thing with Gwen, came into Miles' universe, but came in a week prior to the collider going off, and that's why it bit Miles.
That's a good theory, but then why would Spot himself say, "I created you"?
It's to add on to his theory because I like what House said. It makes sense, bro, because in the beginning of the first film, you hear when he's like dabbing up his old classmates saying, "Hey, Miles, did you feel that earthquake last night?" He's like, "No, I slept like a baby, bro." Like that's when the very first time when the collider went off, and that's when Gwen entered his universe, right? And so my theory, to add on to Javi's, is that because Spot, right, Jonathan, that's what I'm gonna call him, that's his name, right? He was working with Kingpin, or he was working for Kingpin, a part of that collider, project of his. So what I'm thinking is that he was like doing his own little work at his apartment with all of his other fucking vials, his spider cases and his blueprints. that's when he like was like, yo, like we actually did it. So let me try to see if I can, let me see what's out there. Sure, I'm working for Kingpin, but he has his own agenda, and his agenda is to bring, his dead family from other universes. But let me see if I can bring, other like species of spiders. And so my theory is that he brings that spider, and that spider he brings two spiders is my theory, because we see one dead one, and the one that bit Miles died as soon as Miles like slapped it, and after like it injected him with its like venom or whatever.
So none of this was confirmed in the movie, right?
None of it is confirmed. It's all theories.
Okay.
I like that though. I like that it's not confirmed, but it all makes
sense. I really
want
to know though.
That is,
that'd be fucking dope. But
everything that we're saying makes sense, and what Javi said, it makes all complete sense. So I can see why Javi and Mario would think that maybe the spider came in when Gwen came in, when she pulled up, because that's when the collider was first going on.
But still, like I said, why would Spot say that I'm responsible for you?
Like, why did I created you?
Yeah, why would Spot say that? If it was Javi's, if
I'll be honest with you, bro, when Miles and Spot were fighting, and he kept saying like, and he broke down his origin, I feel like he did it too fast. That I was trying to keep up with the dialogue.
Well, because they were fighting and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it was slowed down a little bit more, like if they would have just slowed down the pacing of him explaining his backstory, I would have maybe been like, oh, okay, I understood him more. But it's because I'm trying to keep up with him talking fast, because he kind of rushed his backstory. Yeah. He was like, I was working for Kingpin, and I was blah blah blah, and you threw a fucking bagel at my face, and blah, blah, blah. Like he was just going fast and fast, and I'm trying to keep up. That I feel like I must have missed some details.
That's what I'm saying.
That probably would have been one of them. We probably missed how he created Miles.
That's what I'm saying.
We either might have missed it, or
let us know in the comments if you guys saw it and you guys actually caught it or no. Let us know.
Another thing that I was going to bring up, that's a good point to have. And another point that I want to make is, I don't know if you guys caught it. When they were fighting and Miles was laughing, Miles wasn't taking him serious. Spot was talking straight up. And like, so what I'm thinking is that, the audio focused too much on Miles and making like his little comments about Spot. And we didn't hear enough about what Spot was saying directly towards him. Because it was when it was Spot fighting Spider-Punk, Gwen, Miles, and the Indian Spider-Man. He was like saying some shit to them, but none of them were taking him serious. And like he was saying something like, "So you guys aren't like gonna take me serious," or like it was when Miles was texting his parents.
Yeah.
Remember when his dad was messaging him like, "Yo, where you at? Like you gotta come." And then Spot's like, "Are you really texting right now? I'm trying to talk to you." So I think that's when this dialogue was.
Yeah, that was a big motivator for Spot to actually become more powerful.
Yeah,
he's like, you guys think of me as a weak villain or whatever. You know,
only taking me serious.
So yeah, that's definitely like a big motivation for him. Yeah. Okay, so we established that. Let's get to the reason. What the fuck? Let's get to the reason behind why this Miguel O'Hara and the Spider Society are chasing Miles, because we see that in trailer. Like, what the fuck's going on? Is Miguel O'Hara the villain? What's going on?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think me personally. No, I don't think neither of them are villains. They just have their own beliefs and they have their own reasons.
Their own ideologies.
Right. So let's dive into the reason why, Miguel and Spider Society is trying to stop Miles. Okay, Hav, can you take it away? Can you give like can you summarize the quick reason on why the whole situation with Miles and Miguel O'Hara?
So what do you want me to break down first? Because there's like a few things. So like, what do you want me to break down the first?
Whichever is the first one.
In order.
All right, let me see. Well, let me try to think.
I'll give it to you like this, Hav. Explain to him why they were all cornering Miles in the beginning.
Okay, so
start there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, start there. That's
like,
where
that clears my mind to where like now I can focus on one thing. So basically, Miguel O'Hara is breaking down to Miles Morales the big what's the word? What's the phrase? The
big spiel.
The
scheme.
Big deal.
Yeah, like there's a phrase when it's like, oh, someone dropped the
F-bomb?
Oh, what is Mario talking about?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like where he drops basically like the biggest piece of information where he drops the thing on Miles, which is that he was never supposed to be a thing.
Yep.
And he basically says that he is an anomaly and that he was not supposed to happen. And when he's like, what do you mean? I don't understand. And then he starts showing him the webs. Yep. And he says that all these different, these are all our realities. This is all of us connected through these spider webs. These are all these are called canons. These are what's supposed to be happening in every single universe. And in every universe, Spider-Man deals with loss. they lose a captain, is what he said in his own words. And we see all these different universes of Spider-Man where a captain dies, and that's when Spider-Man realizes that his dad is about to be promoted from, like, I think it's detective or sergeant to captain in his police department. So he's like, holy fuck. And he remembers that he had like some sort of weird vision when he was fighting with Spot of seeing his dad save a kid, and then debris falls on him, and he's like, oh shit. He puts two and two together. Holy shit, my dad's gonna fucking die. And Spot kills him. It's because of him. And Miguel is trying to explain to him, listen, man, that's canon though. It's what's supposed to happen.
That's what happened to all of us.
It's what happened to all of us. And he even explained, he's like, what you did for Spider-Man India, saving the girlfriend's dad, right? Like,
which was the captain thing.
Which was a captain of the police department in that universe. It's like, you saved him, and you weren't supposed to do that. Now look at his universe. There's all these different black holes and shit sucking into the earth and blah, 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 because you created an anomaly. Which reminds me of, what's the thing that I thought of? Of the thing where it's like where like they changed reality and then it fucked shit up. I forgot, what was it? Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, okay.
Remember when like Doctor Strange goes in, like when it's like, oh, if it creates an incursion, like when you change,
Right,
when
yes.
you fuck with reality and blah blah blah.
Right.
So it kind of reminded me of Multiverse of Madness, but basically explains like you saving that guy is fucking up now that universe, and if you go do that, everything that you know and love is gonna be gone. But Miles obviously is thinking about it emotionally. He's like, no, what the fuck? That's my dad. I gotta go save him. And Miguel's like, no, bro, you don't understand. This is how it's supposed to happen. We all went through it, and then you see all the different Spider-Man timelines, and they're like, "Oh, this is how when it all went through all of us."
And let's speak on the little Easter eggs.
give it to
Well, here's the thing. I feel like that should be its own topic. Should we hold off on that? Because there's a bunch of.
Okay, fine. We'll
We'll make
put a
that
pin
a
on
whole
that.
segment because there's a bunch of shit I picked up, and I know Danny picked up.
Okay, let's put a pin on that.
So we'll talk about that in a bit, because that easily could be its own segment. So we'll get there. But yeah, basically he calls the rest of the Spider Society to corner Miles because they know that he's going to react irrationally and fuck shit up, and he's gonna go and try to save his dad and shit like that. So that's why they're all cornering him and stuff. So that's basically that.
and Miles, his goal is just to save his dad, and Miguel's obviously trying to save the multiverse.
Right.
You know, so in a sense, to me, they have their own ideologies. I understand both.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I understand both, but
But who do you align with more? I think I know what your answer is, and I think I agree with you.
I'm going with
who do you
I'm going with
agree with?
Miguel, bro.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Even though it's my dad and stuff, but it's the multiverse, man. Like, if you it's gonna destroy the entire multiverse if you do this.
Because he said it himself too. Like, you know, if you.
But they painted Miguel like, come on, man. They painted the Miguel like if he's the villain, bro. Like a hardcore villain.
Yeah.
And then Gwen is like, I thought we're supposed to be the good guys. Remember that? It's like, man, you are the good guys.
Yeah,
Miguel's
yeah.
trying to save the fucking multiverse. Like, what the fuck? If Miles does this, it's gonna kill everybody.
I think she more so said that after, like, when he was like, no, it's a wrap, you're done. And he sends her back to her universe.
Okay.
And she's like, no, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I fucking told you. Because he talks to Spider-Woman. Like, I told you it was a fucking liability, blah, blah, blah. And she sends her back. That's when she says that line to him.
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
when it
yeah.
happened. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I think I would agree. I think I'd be a Miguel side, man.
What do you think, Mario? Miguel or Miles? Civil War.
I understand
no,
both,
my
but I would be with Miguel, bro.
My side. What's your side? I don't know. I was like Spider Punk. I don't follow rules. I don't follow.
Dude, he was really cool.
He was
that was a
raw.
cool character. I liked him.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get to the cameo. I got a lot to say about Spider-Punk. I'll get there, though.
Okay, so Mario.
What?
He said Miguel.
talking.
He said Miguel.
I said Miguel.
No, he said he sides with
Oh,
Miguel.
I thought he was
Yeah.
still talking because we interrupted him.
Oh no, Miguel makes more sense,
okay,
bro.
okay.
It sucks, but it's like motherfucking all these Spider-Mans you see, all their uncles died,
Yo.
bitch.
You know what's funny,
Except
too,
for
is that
Gwen's, because Gwen's dad quit.
I
That's
want
which-
to
which I
talk
wanted to bring that
about
up.
that in a little bit.
or maybe it's because that is another weird thing is that Spider-Man 2099 said, like, oh, in every universe a captain dies, and it's like, well, for Gwen a captain didn't die, but she did experience loss. I think like
Peter,
the better word choice would have been every Spider-Man experiences loss, which is a theme that we learned in the first movie when Miles loses Prowler, right, his uncle Aaron, and then all the Spider-Men come to his apartment.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, hey, man, I get it, right? For me, it was my Uncle Ben, blah, blah, blah. And it's so funny because I was watching Into the Spider-Verse last night to refresh my memory before I saw Across the Spider-Verse. And it's something that I started laughing. I kind of started chuckling was that the most cartoony, obviously like over like super cartoony character, which was Spider Ham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Peter Porker delivers delivers the most truth line in the entire movie. I don't know if you remember, because
What
you see
was it?
Spider Ham. He's clearly a joke. He's clearly a funny character who's meant to be cartoony. He's meant to be like, you know. But it's funny because he delivers one of the most like dialogues in the entire movie. And it's when all the Spider-Man people are like, you know, I lost so-and-so. Well, I lost so-and-so. For me, I lost my dad. I lost my uncle. And Spider-Ham just goes, Miles, the thing about this job is you can't save everyone. And I'm like, I cannot believe a mutated pig just spit the most truth in this entire movie. Mm-hmm. To me, I just kind of thought it was kind of funny that he spoke the most truth. But the point that I'm trying to make is that this was a theme that we learned in the first movies, that every Spider-Man experiences loss.
Another ideology with Spider-Man that I noticed a difference. I don't know if maybe you guys caught it. I know we're having a literally so many different talking points. Just put pins on them. Is legit how Gwen and Miles Morales are hesitant to reveal that they're Spider-Man, just for the sense of like, are my parents gonna get me mad? Will they accept me? All these different things. Those are the reasons, right? To me, I thought the reason should be is not whether they accept you or whatever, but more so, I don't tell you so I can protect you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As a sense where the reason why I'm keeping this from you is so my villains don't know who you are, and it's to protect you.
That's more Peter's ideology.
Exactly. I like that more.
Yeah.
Than
me too.
Than Miles and Gwen's, where I'm not telling them because they're gonna be mad, or like I feel like they're not gonna accept me, or they're
not
gonna
gonna
love
me as much.
Yeah, right. You know, I think that should maybe just my hot take.
No, it's not. It's reasonable. I get it.
I prefer Peter's, where it's like, hey, I'm not telling you. I don't care whether you accept me or not. I'm not telling you because I love you and I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want my enemies
Well, then just
to
stop
know.
being Spider-Man. I can't. I have a great responsibility because I got these great powers.
Exactly. So I think that's one thing that I pointed out.
Together.
Exactly. That's one thing that I pointed out that was different from Peter's.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Miles and Gwen.
Yeah.
That you know what I mean. So anyways, okay. So we put pins in multiple things. That's one thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
What was the other? What were we on right now? Or we
were talking about
Miguel.
Miguel and like what he was explaining to Miles about.
Okay, so we pretty much all agree that we would side with Miguel, right?
Yeah.
Our listeners in the comments or whatever, who do you agree with? Do you guys side with Miguel? Yeah. For the people listening, do you side with Miguel O'Hara or do you side Miles Morales? Do you want to save the multiverse and everyone, or do you, I don't know, want to don't give a fuck about that and just try to save your loved one, your dad, or something?
And hopes
Knowing
that it doesn't fuck everything up.
Knowing it's gonna fuck up your shit. It's gonna destroy your universe.
Exactly.
I thought it was a risk.
Which side are you picking?
You thought it was a what?
A risk, because like obviously the more and more you do it, the higher chance it's gonna happen. Because with the Indian Spider-Man, his universe was fucked up, but even they said if we're lucky enough, we'll stop it. If we're lucky, from his universe going, bye bye, whatever the fuck. So you know what I mean? So what you would say is like, would you risk it? Because maybe you saving your lost one or whatever the fuck. What's it called? Saving your lost one. Would you saving you being selfish? Would you be the final stepping stone to like, okay, you were the last one, now everything's fucked?
Yeah.
Because every time you do that, you just risk it basically, and the chances get greater.
Okay, I guess the next pin that we had was, I know the Easter eggs. Let's put that on hold real quick. I remember Danny mentioned something that he wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So
it was about with Gwen, right?
So like how Javi had mentioned that Miguel had said, we all lost, a captain in our lives, and when Gwen's dad, his Captain Stacy, resigned or stepped down from being captain. I think he's just a regular cop now.
No, he quit.
Right?
No, he said he quit.
He quit.
He's
the
not
entire
he's
force?
not
I'm like,
Okay.
Gwen,
So my question is, how the hell does that change her universe? Right?
Maybe they tackle it in the second movie.
Right. The reason why I say that is because where was it gonna lead to? I should have. It's because with Miles. Oh, it was with Miles. where Miguel was like, when he was like cornering him, right, saying like, oh, like you know, like all of this is happening because of you, right? If like, again, if you would have never gotten bit, none of this would have been going on. The crazy thing to me, and something that I just wanted to, you know, bring up, is that because, you know, Peter in Miles' timeline died, and now he's the Spider-Man of his universe, you know, all of his reality, it basically had to completely shift, right, to around Miles, because, you know, he's the next, I guess you could say, quote unquote, Spider-Man, right? Again, that's a hot take to some people, but in his universe, he's a Spider-Man. And so when he did get bit, you know, and his Peter died, basically the one thing that I wanted Miguel to mention is I wanted Miguel to like bring up some shit about Miles's universe, how it had to completely, you know, completely revolutionize itself by focusing on Miles and accepting Miles into like their realm of like the spider webs, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like how he said, you know, when you went in and you saved the Indian Captain Stacy from dying when he should have died, you know, you pretty much just killed off Indian Spider-Man's universe. Like, that's gonna cease to exist. Like, we gotta try to save it, and they were gonna try to save it with those like spears. I don't know what they planned, but it was what they planned. They were gonna try to like control, like, you know, the black hole or whatever. Yeah, like at the bottom. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No, I saw.
So I thought he was gonna mention something about Miles when he had gotten bit. You know, like maybe if that would have, you know, been like a black hole of within itself. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know. I just found that interesting.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like
because
if the captains was canon supposed to die, right?
Right.
And just because Gwen's father decided to quit, he's no longer captain, meaning he's not going to die. Is that now canon?
Yeah.
But then again, that changed because Gwen entered the multiverse. Because when she went into the multiverse and she left, her dad got like depressed and stuff and realized, hey, I don't want to do this no more. Nope. So like, I get what you're saying. Does that mean that her universe is also fucked?
Yeah.
Or like, is that a loophole?
Exactly. Is that a loophole?
Where if your dad quits the captain, whatever person quits to be captain, they're saved, and your universe is saved.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. That's
Like I just thought that they would tackle it. You know, they would tackle on that more, but I mean, who knows what they'll talk about in the second part? You know.
Okay.
Of the movie.
Yeah. I see.
Okay, so let's get into the cameos, the Easter eggs and stuff. But I guess before we get like fully into that, I guess there was an Easter egg that you guys caught in the very beginning, which is Miles' friends playing the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, playing the game.
I actually didn't see that, man.
That was funny, bro.
Bro, that was cool as fuck. He was playing the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, bro. At first, I was like, "The fuck is he playing? Why does it not look, you know, like good, like animated?" And then I like had to lean in. I don't know if you saw, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's playing the game."
Dude, he screamed that really loud.
And Danny both pointed.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know if you noticed that. We were both like, "Hey, yo, what the hell?"
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying.
That was the first one. And then we also saw when Spot was starting to discover his powers, like how he could travel to different multiverses. He started going to other universes.
Yeah.
Right? He went into the Lego universe.
That was my favorite one, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
The Lego one?
Yeah, that was
cool. I was like, what the fuck, bro? And then he goes into fucking Venom's universe.
Oh my gosh, that was sick.
When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Is that the bitch from
the
Venom?
Convenience store?
The convenience store lady? And they were talking. When Spot was just talking to her, I was like, I cannot believe they actually filmed this shit. Also, let's be honest, y'all didn't catch it. I did.
What?
But back when we went back to the Lego universe, there was a J. Jonah Jameson there that was talking. His dialogue is literally the same exact voice dialogue from the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
When you mentioned that, I agreed. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is where it's from.
I thought it was in all of them.
What do you mean?
I thought that dialogue was in all of the universes when J. Jonah Jameson
was talking.
Yeah, was talking.
Well, I just caught the one when he was talking in the Lego world. That I caught that. I was like, this audio is from Spider-Man.
The reason why I say that is because you know how like when we would jump into different universes, we heard like the TV, you know, the TV broadcaster, and it was him. It was J. Jonah Jameson talking about, you know, like Spider-Man and stuff. So I picked up on his voice. Yeah, I did.
That's pretty cool. So I think those were the first ones, but once we get to the Spider Society, I know you said this was a whole topic.
Bro,
do you want to lead it? Do you want to lead with it? The ones
I guess
that you,
the very first one that we see that everyone, I know everyone reacted and we all pointed was we saw PS4 Spider-Man.
Yep.
Insomniac Spider-Man, and it's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. Like, it's actually the voice of Spider-Man from the game.
Yep.
So I was like, oh shit, what the fuck, right? And then we see Ben Reilly. Obviously, he makes a cameo. He's not in the movie as much, even though they showed him off in the trailer a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised that he wasn't in it as much. Then we saw the one that really made me go, whoa, what the fuck? Excuse me, is we saw Donald Glover in the fucking movie playing the Prowler, which, because we see that he plays Aaron Johnson in Spider-Man Homecoming. He plays the Prowler before he's the Prowler. Yep. And so the fact that this was more so a reference for people who like know, it's one of those, like, you know how like people say, if you know, you know, right? That was one of those moments where we see him playing as the Prowler, and you know what I mean? And Hector was like, oh, does that confirm the theory? Blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is the Prowler from the MCU. Just because he wasn't established. He was before the Prowler. You feel me? This is probably a Prowler from another universe, but it was like a reference to be like, oh shit, from the MCU, like, because Donald Glover played the Prowler in that movie, blah, blah, blah. I think it was more so like a reference to that, mainly.
Yeah.
But then after that, we also saw, what else did we see? Spectacular Spider-Man from the TV show, which I felt like is the best animated Spider-Man TV show, in my opinion. It's the one that I felt like most captured Spider-Man's character. And it also pays homage to the Sam Raimi movies, which I can always appreciate. And then what else did we see? We saw Spider-Man India is voiced by Dupinder from the Deadpool movies. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the guy Dupinder, the taxi driver. So he plays Spider-Man India, right?
Oh, wow.
Spider-Punk, which I guess was a thing from 2015. He had his own comic book run. My introduction to Spider-Punk was in the PS4 Spider-Man game, because that's actually a skin that you can change to. And in the Spider-Man game, you can have different skins for your Spider-Man, and each one comes with their own special ability. And Spider-Punk's is like this one where he pulls out a guitar and does like a guitar solo, and it like wipes out a bunch of enemies around you, right? So I knew who Spider-Punk was from the game, and he's voiced by Daniel Kaluuya, who we know is the main character from the movie Get Out.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know
Really?
That guy, the guy who's in the Get Out movie, right? The one that who escapes the family. The one who's being targeted. He was also in Black Panther 1, right? He was like that one side character. But yeah, he's voiced by him. And and then Spider-Cat, like I said, Spider-Cat's from Miles Morales. At least that's where I know it from. We saw that reference. Other than that, I'm not sure. Oh, we also saw when Miguel O'Hara was breaking down the canon, right? The Spiderweb shit. We started seeing glimpses of the other Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah, that was
At one
sick.
point when he was like, oh, in every Spider-Man universe, we lose a captain. We actually see the scene from Amazing Spider-Man 1 with Andrew Garfield, the scene where he loses Gwen's dad in the rooftop after his fight with the lizard. I thought that was really cool. And then when he's like, oh, it's not just the captain, though. Like, every Spider-Man just experiences loss in general. And, like, in the corner of the screens, there were glimpses of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when he lost Uncle Ben. And then over here is when Andrew lost, his Uncle Ben. And then when he lost Gwen. And so there were glimpses to the other Spider-Man movies that was like, if you didn't look around the screen and everything, you would not have caught it type of deal. Those were all the ones I caught. Did I miss any?
The obvious meme one where they're all like playing
Oh yeah, where everyone points at each other.
They're like, no, Morales. Remember?
I saw
that shit was funny.
Yeah.
There was that one.
Yeah, that was cool.
I forgot. I mean, that's the only one I picked up that you didn't mention. Everything else, like, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think.
What about you, Danny? Because I know you know more.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you named all of them, bro. I'm trying to remember though.
And there's probably a lot we did that none of us saw.
That's true.
Probably. Was there a specific Easter egg or cameo that you like would y'all consider your favorite? Like, was there one that stood out to you that you were like, I cannot believe they included that?
For me, I genuinely liked the one where it was the paper bag over his head, the Fantastic Four one.
Oh, Bombastic Bagman. That was another
Yup.
one that I forgot to
Yeah.
mention.
Oh,
yeah,
that's in the
you're
game,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's also in the comics.
Oh yeah,
It's in the comic book.
that's where
yeah.
I saw him first in
It's
that.
the one
yeah.
where like it's like an issue or something where Spider-Man didn't have his suit, so he borrowed Johnny Storm's suit and he just put a paper bag over his head to like swing
Yeah.
to his house or whatever.
I love
But yeah,
that.
I forgot to yeah.
And
I
then
remember.
I guess these are little cameos at the very end. It sucks that they were at the very end because I would have thought we would have seen them with the society. Noir comes back. Penny shows up.
Yeah,
Penny
she shows up briefly.
Yep. Spider Ham shows
Ham.
up. I think that's it from the original ones. No, yeah, that's
Yeah, from the original, yes.
ones. Yeah, they show up at the very end, which
Right.
kind of sucked. I would have liked to see a little
Them.
bit more dialogue.
Hey man, but
But-
by the way the movie ends, we won't see a lot more.
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, so those are all the different Easter eggs and references that I picked up, and I know that I also mentioned some casting and like people that
Yeah,
were
I think that's
voicing
pretty-
characters that maybe you guys didn't know.
I think that's pretty. That's pretty much it. There was definitely like a lot of spider people.
Did
right?
you have a favorite
And
Easter egg or cameo that you saw?
my favorite one?
Like one that you saw that you saw, you're like, oh, I like that. Like I can't believe they referenced that.
Fuck.
Because that Donald Glover one was big.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I was just like, because I was not expecting that at all. I had
Yeah, that
no
was
idea,
cool.
and it was cool because they mixed animation with live action.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, what the fuck? Like that's a real dude, and he's talking to an animated Miles. What the fuck?
And same
right?
with Spot talking to that chick from Venom.
From Venom, exactly. Do you have like a favorite one that you
that
saw?
one was cool. I really liked that they included the live action
Spider-Man movies?
scenes, right? Not only that, my favorite one, the animated Spider-Man, the one that stood still, like the
Oh my god, bro!
Oh, the Chinese one. No, it was the Chinese one.
He literally just swings past him and he's just
like,
stuck
just-
there. Me and Hector
he's
were
stuck-
dying laughing.
He's
'cause
stuck
we-
in 2D animation.
He's just, dude, he literally just stood still. Miles Morales just swings right past him, bro. Me and Hector started dying laughing. We're like, this motherfucker's he's just falling back.
that shit was
The
funny.
one that caught me off guard, though, I'll say, was the fucking T-Rex, bro.
Bro, I
T-Rex
literally looked
one.
at Hector like, what the fuck?
That one
Bro,
caught me
I
off
guess
guard.
that whole scene didn't really trip me up and I was surprised that like Hav was like really hyped because he was really hyped with Spider-Cat. He was hyped with the T-Rex thing, and that's pretty. It's cool, but I think maybe like a week or two before the movie came out, they released that clip, like themselves, like as like an official clip. So
Oh,
like
shit,
it was
I
already
didn't-
on the internet.
I never saw
Oh.
that. I
I
never
never
saw
saw
that,
it.
bro.
No, it wasn't a leak. It was themselves like,
No,
oh,
I know
here's
what you mean.
here's a new clip,
Oh, I
and
know what- I know.
and that clip of where they're pointing each other, Miles hiding behind that Spider-Man and Spider-Cat showing off in the Spider-Rex,
Mm-hmm.
all that like that shit came out, and obviously I had to keep up with HRV was happening, right?
Right,
So
right.
I already saw that clip, so I wasn't as hyped, I guess, as you two,
sucks.
because I already saw it. I was like, oh,
I
this is
got
cool.
you. I got you.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is fucking raw. But
got
yeah,
you.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Hector. My favorite Easter egg was when they showed off the live-action Spider-Man movies, when they showed off Andrew and Toby, because for the longest time, a lot of people were theorizing that we were gonna get cameos of
That they were
Andrew
gonna pull
and
up,
Toby
yeah.
and Tom,
that'd be crazy.
but like animated versions of themselves in the movie, and they were supposed leaked artwork of Toby, Andrew, and Tom in Spider-Verse, which were obviously fake and
Yeah.
those were not real at all. And I was like, man, given that there's a bunch of spider people in this movie, are they actually going to make an appearance? Like, is it actually going to be an
Right.
animated version, or is it going to be one of those things where it's an average generic-looking red and blue Spider-Man, but then you hear the voice and you're like, no way, it's Toby, or no way, it's
Exactly.
Andrew. But the fact that they pushed it a step further and included actual clips of the movie and had it on screen, that one took me off guard because I was expecting an animated version of them, and instead we got them.
yeah,
But like from the movie, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? And I think it would have been cool. Definitely, what would have pushed them up a notch is if they brought them back to film new scenes as them in live action, like what they did with Donald Glover.
that'd have been helly money though.
Bro.
They have to get a lot of money for that.
Yeah, but let's be real.
They gotta
They
get
got
cut.
that.
That's
They
true.
got that.
Another cool thing is like I know we're hyped about the Spider Society and so many spiders and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the directors actually came out and said that in this movie alone, there's about 280 spider people,
I'm sure.
and
Believe that.
probably like about 95. He says probably about 95 of them are named characters that we know. The others are just spider people, whatever. And he also says that they saved a lot more for the next movie beyond the they say
Maybe
they
Tom
yeah
Holland.
he was saying that they saved a lot more for the next movie.
Bro,
So
imagine. No, like
I'm expecting them to have Toby and
Bro, imagine if they came out, bro.
hey
It's
man,
because I guess there was a rumor when they were first making the first one, they were supposed to make an appearance, all three of them.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Sony themselves were like, nah, like we can't just jump the gun like that. You know, like that's too risky.
I heard
you
about
know?
that.
So that's
wow.
why they cut that idea. But that was an initial idea that like the studio originally had, and then but Sony were the ones, surprisingly, they were the ones to step in and say, nah, like we can't include that. It's too early to include that.
so maybe the next one.
So the
Bro.
last one, bro.
So but
That would be cool as
so we had our fun. We got a little tangent. Now let's wrap it up, right? So we're back with Miles, okay? Miles goes back to his universe. He ends up escaping, right?
Yes.
You know, he's talking to his mom and everything. He finally builds up the courage to reveal, hey, I'm Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But the mom is like, who?
What's a Spider-Man?
He's like, well, you know, the hero is like, oh, cool. It's like the people in Comics Con. She's like, the people from Comics Con, where you dress up and stuff. And then like, okay, I mean, cool, right? And obviously at this time, this is when Gwen is, obviously she's sent back to her home, but she's able to, she ends up
Teleporting.
she ends up meeting her dad. They end up reconciling and fixing up their issues. And Spider-Punk actually left his that wrist thing where it lets you travel through dimensions there.
That's another thing I forgot, that when everyone was chasing Miles,
Yes.
he stood back and he's like, yeah, I
I'm
don't
out.
follow rules. I quit.
Yeah.
And he just did.
but no, like, here's the one thing, bro. Because from
okay.
that, I think they retconned that shit because I clearly saw him take his
Yeah,
shit
he
off
took
and
it
he
off.
threw it, and then
That's
that's
like
when he
one he
stepped
made, I
into the
think, or
the
some
portal. Like he literally took it off.
Yeah, he
he's
took it
like,
off.
he's like, I don't know. He's like, yeah, he said that.
He
He's like,
said
I don't
that.
follow rules. Like I quit, and he took his shit off and he threw it and he stepped into the portal.
Yeah.
So,
But if he stepped into the portal, then why'd he throw it away?
No, he
Because he
opened
quit.
it first
No,
and then
yeah,
he stepped through.
Yeah, he opened
Oh,
it.
And
he
as he
left his
threw it-
little wrist thing.
I don't think it's that significant.
So
really.
that's why
Yeah, it's
It's
when
kind of like whatever.
I know, but it's just a little like. What
But
the fuck?
but it's true. How did
he have one? Unless he has a
how did
backup.
he how did he leave that?
I'm thinking he just made his own.
Could be.
That's the only thing I can think
Hey,
of.
that's interesting. I don't know.
I just wanted to bring that up. I'm surprised you caught that too, bro.
No, I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, oh, he threw it. Because he said, like, oh, I'm done. I don't, like, I quit.
That's true.
Quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a little thing where like,
Yeah.
okay, well, how do you explain that? Okay, I didn't catch that, but I mean, good eyes on you two. So he ends up, she ends up getting back that time traveling thing. Ends up trying to go to Miles. Right? She ends up going there, and she's in his room and everything. We're like, okay, what's going on? It's like flashbacks, not flashbacks, but like
It's cutting from,
it's cutting
from
Gwen.
Miles to Gwen.
Exactly. And we're like, okay, what's going on? Why is it that Miles is here talking to his mom, but Gwen is in his room and it's empty? Right? We're like, what the heck's going on? Right? And so Miles ends up.
Wait.
What?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yup.
You're right.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it? Keep on.
If you want to say it, go ahead.
No,
Take it away,
keep on,
girl.
keep on. I was gonna say because so I had pointed out to Hector.
Oh, right.
So
this far.
before he teleported himself back, right? There was this machine where it just scans the eye of whatever Spider-Man or woman wants to go back to the universe. It takes them to that universe that is within their DNA. That's what I took from that, right? So that little like camera thing scanned Miles' eye, and it said, "All right, we're sending you back to your universe, Earth 45 or 42." And so when I saw the 42, I was completely, I was like caught off guard because I'm like, he's not from Earth 42. What the fuck? He's from Earth 100 and something, like they said earlier in the beginning of the film. And how Hector I put it, we see them, right? Gwen is in an empty room, but it's Miles' room. Miles is in his room, but with his mom. They're in two completely different Earths, right? And Gwen realizes that after her Spidey sense goes off, which I also found a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys found that weird.
What?
How
Her
she
shit
was,
was going
how
off?
she was able to sense that
Yeah.
from a different universe.
I did think that.
Me, I don't know how that's. I don't know. I just
don't
found
know.
that very weird. That caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I'm
know.
glad you bring it up too, Mario, that you caught that. So that happens, right? Then after Miles in Earth 42, gets done talking to his mom, tells her, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man." All right, cool. We see his uncle pull up, right? His uncle pulls up.
The Prowler.
The Prowler is what we're.
And this is where obviously the audience realizes, oh shit, he's
He's
not in the right fucking universe.
Yup.
No, but here's the thing: is that really his uncle, or is that his dad?
No, it's his.
No, it's his uncle.
It's his uncle.
It's his uncle.
It's his uncle.
Yeah, because he says uncle.
He says uncle.
He says uncle. Hey, uncle, I missed you, whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay.
But I'm glad you bring that up too, because I thought that it was gonna be some like flip flop shit where it's his uncle married his mom instead of his dad.
Yeah,
married
that's what I
his
thought
mom.
it was too.
Because in that scene after he hugs his uncle, you know, I guess like his uncle is all like weird. He's like, the fuck? Like he even makes a comment too, which I even picked up saying like, what'd you do with your dreads? He says, he's like, where are your dreads? Like, did you just get rid of them? And he's like, oh yeah, Miles plays it cool. He's like, oh yeah, I'm letting them loose, you know. Then they go up to the roof of their apartment, and then you see the
mural.
like the mural of his dad, who was the captain, right? He had passed away.
So instead of his uncle being on there from the original,
from
his
his
Earth, it's his dad.
It's his dad, right? And then his uncle Aaron is talking to Miles, saying something like, "Oh, you ready? Like to get the, you know, something's about to go down."
Yeah, this is his first look at it's like Gotham. It's like a
pretty
piece
much
of shit
like
city.
a rundown New York City.
It's a piece of shit city, and he says this because there's no Spider-Man here.
Yup, and that's when he realized there's no Spider-Man, and then he gets knocked out.
Who got?
He gets knocked out. Miles
not
gets
by
knocked
his
out,
uncle.
bruh. He wakes up. He's strapped onto the punching bag, right? Which I found a little funny because that was a callback to
The first movie.
Peter B. Parker getting tied up on the punching bag, and then that's when we get the big reveal. Take it away, girl.
Or who wants to take it away? Hav.
wants to take
Let
it
Hav
away?
take it away.
Me?
Take it away.
Let Hav take it away. What happens,
Miles
girl?
wakes up in
He
his
wakes
uncle's
up.
apartment.
He basically tries to convince his uncle that he doesn't have to be a bad guy. He's like, you don't have to be a bad guy. You can be different. Until he sees him putting on the Prowler hand and fucks his shit up, right? He just punches the punching bag.
That was a
real
cool
hard.
shot too, though. Like the
Yeah.
colors and stuff.
And he's like, oh, fuck. Like, he's already bad in this universe. What the fuck? But then he says that he's not the Prowler. And he's like, what the fuck? So who's the Prowler? And he looks up at the ceiling, and there's the Prowler on the... You know, he's just kind of like... Just posing there, right? When he comes on down... You're like, who the fuck is this guy? If it's not Aaron who's the Prowler, then... And then you see the Jordans. You're like, no. And then he unmasks himself, and it's Miles Morales from Earth 42. He's the Prowler
Yep.
in that universe.
Not gonna lie, he looks raw. Though.
He looks raw.
And then he kind of looked like X
He kind of. Wait, who?
with his
X.
dreads.
like X with his dreads.
Okay. I mean, he looks fucking cool, bro. Like his suit too. Like it's just suit
It
him.
looks raw. His
like-
logo too.
I like it.
that.
Yeah, his
I like
logo
it
looks
because
cool
it
as
looks
fuck.
like a Miles Morales Prowler suit.
Yep.
Kind of like how he made his own like Spider-Man suit, where he just spray painted a Spider-Man suit black with the red spider. He essentially spray painted the Prowler symbol on the chest, and he's wearing the Jordan, so it looked like a Miles Morales version of Prowler.
Yeah, that's
which
sick.
I
as
liked,
fuck.
which adds personality and adds to like, you know, because they could have easily just given him the full-on Prowler suit, but that wouldn't feel, I guess, authentic. To Miles Morales, he's, you know, he rocks the Jordans, he does the spray paint shit, right? And I thought that was pretty cool. And actually, fun fact, I literally just looked it up just now. Apparently, Earth 42 Miles Morales is voiced by a different voice actor.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would be the same guy because they're both Miles, but
Yeah.
it's voiced by a different guy,
Oh.
which is weird. I don't know.
Huh.
That's
I
interesting.
didn't know that.
But yeah, then you find out that in Earth 42 there is no Spider-Man, and Miles Morales in this universe is actually the Prowler, and he's actually a villain, which is interesting. But now that raises the question: where's this Earth's Peter?
I mean, we don't know. He could be dead, or maybe they'll explain it in the next movie.
Oh,
What if we
sorry,
find
no,
out?
because-
What if we
hold on,
find
hold
out
on, hold on.
Peter?
No, keep going.
I was gonna say, what if we find out that Peter's dead in this universe because of Prowler Miles Morales?
I think I know what you're gonna say, bro. I might say it for you. My theory about this Earth, because keep in mind that spider is from that Earth, that spider was meant to be that Peter Parker of that Earth. So because the spider was never at that Earth, and it was in Miles' Earth, there is no Spider-Man, but there is a
Yeah.
live Peter Parker.
Because that machine, it scans you, right, to send you back, right?
Yup, and
It
it
scans your
scans
DNAs
the
and everything,
DNA.
so it's really gets the spider
It scanned the spider's DNA that was within
and sends you there.
Miles. Yup.
So could it be that spider that Spot took from that universe and took it to Miles? to Earth. You know what I'm talking about?
Yup, I
Yes.
know what you're talking about.
Hey man,
Hey,
we don't
man.
know. I
So
don't
once
know,
again,
man.
folks, we're bringing you the
Actual
rawest,
value.
cleanest. What'd you say?
Actual value.
Actual value content.
my
Like
God.
Hector
Fuck the
said.
ops.
Like Hector says, fuck the ops.
Fuck the ops. That's crazy. You're not gonna get none of this.
Name the names though.
Hell no,
man.
hey man. Hey, hey.
All right, it's and then
No,
you just
no,
bleep
no.
it, and then you just bleep it.
No, we finna. No. Once we get big, I'll call them out. No, I won't. But you know, hey, just chill, man.
It's all love. No, it ain't. It's all love. It's all love.
It's on site, JK. All right. So yeah, could it
Yo, on
be
my
right?
site.
Hey,
Y'all are nice.
So could it? So could it be right? That's hey.
who knows? Maybe Peter's dead in that universe. But the point is, that spider that was meant to bite Peter in that Earth was gone. No spider.
But here's another
Spider-Man.
continuity error is that Miguel O'Hara makes it a big deal about how canon is supposed to go the way it's supposed to. So was it canon that the spider in Earth 42 was supposed to leave that universe to go into Miles's? And if so, then why isn't Earth 42 crumbling into an incursion, blah blah blah, like Spider-Man India's universe?
That's true.
The reason why I think that is because it was somebody random. It was a random researcher in the eyes of Miguel, right? Because Miguel never thought that he was gonna turn into Spot.
Okay.
So my theory is that the researcher who's Spot, you know, he goes to Earth 42 and he doesn't cause an insurgent because he just
Incursion.
Huh?
Incursion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said
What did I say?
insursion.
I said insursion?
Insursion.
That's a book.
That's a book, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Incursion. I'm an incursion. So Spot, right, in his human form, before he was Spot, he develops that teleportation. He travels there and he takes the spider, you know, without having cause some sort of incursion.
It's gonna the third movie. It's gonna be like Saw, where like everything's gonna be unrevealed. Like dun, 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 it was me all along. Like, you know what I mean? It was Hector.
No, bitch ass motherfucker.
He's like this. Truthfully, like it's Gwen, right? It's Gwen.
It's Gwen.
I am.
It's Gwen with dreads. Hey, it's a rat.
It's no, it's Gwen. No, it's Gwen. Is like actually, I'm Peter. I'm the Peter that was missing in your Earth, and she takes off the mask and it's Peter.
And it's Peter Parker with dreads.
You fell in love with me, not Gwen. Me.
Okay, ass motherfucker.
Me. You took the spider away from me, so I took your love life.
Hell no.
Imagine.
That's funny.
Anyways,
That would be fun.
Yeah, right. But so anyways,
Yeah,
we get to
man,
that,
yeah.
right? We get Prowler. Gwen is like, well, I'm on my way to find him. I'm not gonna stop. And then we get another scene where Spot arrives at Miles's universe, and he's there looking all badass and shit, ready to go Royal Rumble in that bitch, Malice in the Palace, right? And
Unfortunately.
And then we see Spider Gwen. I forget what she said word for word, but she was like, "Yo, no, I'm not part of the Spider Society anymore." So I decided to make my own. And that's when you see that I like that shot, bro. It's a pretty badass shot. I got hyped. Was when you see her on the rooftop, and then you see Spider Punk. And then you see Spider-Man India. But then it zooms back a little bit more, and Spider-Man Noir's back. Oh, shit, Penny Parker's back. Oh, it's Spider-Ham. Oh, it's it's Peter B. Parker. So the reason why I was hyped, because I was like, oh, my God, the side characters that stood out to me from the first movie and in this movie are, like, now together. And now we're going to see all of them interact in the third movie.
the gang is back, basically.
Yeah, it was just cool because it was like two worlds colliding, I guess is how I see it. So
And-
I'm excited to see Nicolas Cage interact with Spider-Punk. I'm excited to see John Mulaney talk with Spider-Man India. Like, I'm just excited to see what dialogue and dynamic all those characters are going to have for the third movie. I just cannot wait, bro.
And so, and with them being introduced, that's how it ends, man. It ends on a cliffhanger.
To be
And-
continued.
And obviously, and this is gonna get to Ariana's question from the beginning. Says, "What did you guys think of the end? Right? What did you guys?
I didn't
think
know I
of
was
the
gonna
ending?
do that.
I'll be honest with you. To me,
I expected it.
I didn't.
Well,
feel
hey, one at a time. Whoa, Danny. Let's go with you first. Then we'll go this way.
No. Sorry, go ahead, guys.
No, I was just I thought it was gonna be like a beginning end.
No.
So when at the end when it was like, why does it feel like it's wrapping up right now? 'Cause you know how all the music was going.
Yeah.
I'm just like, is it wrapping up right now? I thought this was gonna be like I said, beginning end.
Hell no.
So when it said to be continued, I was like, fuck, god damn it. Fucking other Fast and
Thankfully-
Furious.
Two
But
cliffhangers in 1 month.
I was about to say another Fast and Furious, but an actual good one this time.
Thankfully, it's not going to be like we're not going to wait 4 years for it.
Yeah, because I made the joke. I was like, "Damn, you ready to see like
Yeah.
the third movie in 4 years?" He's
be-
like, "No, bro, it comes
because
out in March."
beyond the Spider-Verse is coming
On
next
March.
year.
Yeah. Thank
next
God,
year,
bro.
so.
Thank God.
For me, bro, it was different. I had a feeling this movie would end on a cliffhanger. I just didn't know how it would end. And the reason why I knew that is because when Across the Spider-Verse was in production, like when they were beginning like production for it, Sony had straight up revealed like, oh, by the way, we're going to make a third movie called Beyond the Spider-Verse. And that was announced years ago. So we all knew there was going to be 2 more movies. And it kind of reminded me of when the MCU announced Phase 3. And they announced that there was going to be an Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. So we knew there were going to be 2 movies. So this was back, like 2015 when they announced Phase 3 of Marvel. So everyone knew in 2015 that there's going to be Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. And we're like, okay, so if it's Part 1 and Part 2, Part 1 must end in a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to have to continue off in Part 2. Then when the Russo brothers came on and took the project for Infinity War Part 1 and 2, they said, hey, we're going to scrap the title. We're not going to call it Infinity War Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah.
We're just going to call it Infinity War, and then Avengers is going to be called something else, which we found out was Endgame, right? But I knew Infinity War would end in a cliffhanger because I remember when Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige said, we're announcing a 2-part Avengers finale. So when I saw that Sony confirmed, oh, there's going to be a third movie, it's going to be called Beyond the Spider-Verse, I was like, I bet you this movie's going to end in a cliffhanger, and that's where Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to come in.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you think about it, if you end it in a cliffhanger, then you don't really need an end credit scene because the cliffhanger is the end credit scene. It leaves you with the what's going to happen next.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And technically speaking, Infinity War didn't really have an end credit scene, I guess, except for the one where it teased Captain Marvel, which I get, but they could have taken that scene out completely and it still would have been just as effective, is what I'm trying to say. But I was not surprised that this movie ended in a cliffhanger because based on the information that I got years ago and I put 2 and 2 together and I make the connection with Infinity War, I was like, this movie might end in a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Did I think it was going to end just like this, where there's an evil Miles Morales and he's the Prowler and this Earth's fucked because there was no spy? No. That I did not expect.
100%, bro. I absolutely agree. I was expecting cliffhanger, but same thing. I wasn't expecting like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, I wasn't expecting Spot to be like the main thing, right? I thought he was just gonna be like a little side thing. And,
The trailer
you know what I mean?
heavily marketed Miguel O'Hara to be sort of the villain character
type shit.
I was like, oh, I bet you Miguel O'Hara is gonna be one of those like Thanos, where it's like he's a villain, but he has like his own way of how he thinks he's the good guy. And I thought that's what they were gonna go with. So when they introduced more of Spot and how he can tap into different universes and he was becoming more powerful, I was like, oh shit! Like,
And
he played a bigger part than I expected.
And with Spot, I'm glad that they did that, where he was goofy in the beginning, he was clumsy and stuff, but now he's like a badass and he knows
By
what
the
he's
end, I
doing.
found him threatening, especially because he was all black with white spots. I was like, oh shit, it's a Rabs, bro.
Right, and he's actually like, remember he was fighting him during when they were in India, and he was actually knew what he was doing with his spots and everything. So I fuck with that a lot. I was like, okay, cool. Right. Yo, guys, before we get to our rating, this is an edited clip that we decided to put in before our rating because we forgot to mention a very big, I guess, important detail about Miguel O'Hara and his story and why he's so hard on keeping the canon and, trying to keep the multiverse safe. And so Hav, he's going to give like a quick summary on why that is. Go ahead, Hav.
So basically, guys, in the movie, we find out that the Spider Society is led by Miguel O'Hara. And when Miguel O'Hara is basically breaking down to Miles what canon is and why it has to go step for step the way that it was meant to be, right? Like what Destiny wills it to be, is because he himself had to go through it. So he realized that he kind of he briefly talks about it kind of fast, but he says that he is from a different universe, or he was just in his own universe, and he found out that there was another universe of him that he was in where he had a daughter. And apparently that version of Miguel O'Hara ended up passing away. So he thought it wouldn't be harmless for him to live his life in that universe and take the dead Miguel O'Hara's life over and raise a kid. The problem is that because he went over to that universe and lived there and took care of his supposed daughter and all that, that went against the canon of what was supposed to happen. So he ended up seeing that universe that his daughter was in, like go into that incursion thing that we kept mentioning, right? Where all those black holes started coming out and everything was getting sucked in and everyone was disappearing and glitching out. And one of the people that disappeared was Miguel's daughter in that universe. And when she dies or when she disappears from existence, it kind of just, it fucked with him. And then he realized that this would not have happened had he had not screwed with the canon. Exactly. Which was taking over the other Miguel O'Hara's place after he had died. Which is why he is so gung-ho about wanting to keep the canon, Spiderweb's canon, and unchanged and untouched, because he himself saw what happened with his situation. And that's why sometimes we get scenes of Miguel O'Hara looking at computer screens of him with a little girl. Yeah. Which we assumed would be his daughter. Everyone kind of assumed that, right? But we didn't know that it was a daughter of his from another universe that he then took place. He took another Miguel O'Hara's place from another universe and raised the daughter and was with her and made all these memories on a different universe. Right. That's why you see all those scenes with him. So that's another reason why he's also coming from his perspective of like, no, the canon has to be like this. We have to protect the multiverse and blah, 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 and this and that.
And it kind of gives like, it kind of shows the audience that, and us as the audience, we could finally know, okay, you know what? Logically, that does make sense. We could see the issue. And it gives the choice for the audience, like, okay, who do you think, who's really the bad guy, right? Which side did you really, are you going to side with? The Spider Society and Miguel O'Hara or Miles? Are you going to be, you know, kind of selfish, you know, choose the Miles route? You know, so I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that was one important thing that we forgot to mention. Yeah. But yeah, now that we got that out of the way, back to our rating.
Wait, do you wanna mention one more thing?
Go ahead.
There was one more thing that we forgot to mention. It's not a big deal.
But okay.
If we're already editing this clip.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So there's a segment in this podcast, guys, that you guys already heard where we were talking about cameos.
Oh yes.
I forgot to mention one. It happens very early on in the movie when 2099, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman were fighting the Vulture. That's when Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man 29 were running during the battle. Spider-Man 29 was basically explaining like, I'm a leader of the society and blah blah blah, and like this person doesn't belong in, this Vulture doesn't belong in your universe because a whole bunch of shit was going on, and with the multiverse and different characters from different universes are going into other ones and blah blah blah, and it's created a mess, right? And then he mentions, he's like, the whole multiverse was a mess because of an anomaly and blah 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 and this and that. And don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and little nerd from Earth 99999, right? That's a reference to the MCU. I don't know if you knew that.
I heard about it, like when that first dialogue came out, people were like, oh, making that reference and stuff. Yeah.
And the reason why I point that out is
because I didn't know that was the Earth, because don't you remember the MCU? Didn't they call that Earth 616?
Yeah, but
so like it's
apparently there is a Marvel Comics encyclopedia book that breaks down all the different Earths in the Marvel canon. Okay, like every multiverse every universe in the multiverse that Marvel has touched on at one point or another. And I saw a video on TikTok where the actress Iman something, I forgot her name, the one who plays Miss Marvel, she was doing an interview like on a red carpet, and someone was like, do you believe the MCU timeline is Earth 616 like it was established in Multiverse of Madness? She's like, no, I don't think it's 616, even though they said it was. It's Earth 8999999, because apparently that's what it says in that Marvel encyclopedia book. Is that the MCU Marvel
So
universe,
why did they do that though? Like a little Easter egg type thing.
It might have been an Easter egg to be like, oh, 616, get it? Because that's like the OG comic line.
I'm glad that they didn't do that though.
Maybe it was that, or it could be because the writers dealing with the book or writing Doctor Strange maybe didn't know. Yeah. Or they didn't just care to know the continuity error. It's like, wait, we can't call it 616 because we're already 89999 or whatever it is, right? I know there's a bunch of nines in the world, right? Yeah, a bunch of nines. That's all I know. It's just like 89999. I don't know, some bullshit. Yeah, but that's a reference. Is that when he names drops Doctor Strange and the little nerd from Earth, you know, that's a reference to No Way Home, to when Peter fucked up Doctor Strange's spell and brought Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin and everyone into the universe, into the MCU universe. So that was another thing that we forgot to mention. in the
Right. Yeah, you're
podcast.
right. Okay. Thank God thank God we actually got that. Not gonna lie. But yeah, guys. Okay, so we got that covered. So now back to the show. Back to our ratings. All right. So there you go, guys. That's it. We're gonna get into our ratings. Who wants to go first? Danny, do you want to go first or Hive? Or should we go Hive? Or?
That's an idiot.
Do you want to go?
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna
I
say,
kind of
Danny,
have
go
a tangent. I'm not gonna lie.
bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Ooh.
Oh, 5. A 5.
Look,
This honestly, Fast X was better.
for what I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that.
I could agree with that.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Like why are you blushing right now? Like you want to cry or something?
Is that tears? No, I'm kidding.
Like Danny's speechless right now.
Yeah, like he's just not saying.
He didn't talk for like 5 minutes after we left the movie too.
Yeah.
Bro, we were all like, "Hey, what do you want to get to eat?" And he's like, "I can't eat right now."
I can't even eat right now.
He started talking like Spider-Man Noir, like I let the candles light to my fingertips so I could feel something. I was like, Danny, what are you talking about, dog?
Without a doubt, bro. Honestly, I gotta give that movie a fucking 12 out of 10.
What the?
11
he broke
out of
the
10,
scale.
Broke the
He
scale.
broke the scale.
Wow.
That's crazy.
12 out of 10.
Just because,
That's it?
bro. Just because.
Okay,
for me-
wait. Okay, ready? Let's go with the Danny rating, and then like the critical rating.
Yeah. So Danny rating a 12 out of 10.
Okay, so like now critical. What's the critical? one?
Critical. It was a 10 out of 10 for me, bro.
All right, cool.
It
So
was
10 out of 10, guys.
It was a genuine masterpiece.
Danny rating
from-
12.
Like,
12 out of 10.
bro, even from the music, I didn't really pay attention to the music, but
The music was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear anything, but like,
Okay.
hold on.
What's his point?
Bro, bro, the music, bro, like, yeah,
That's
we
'cause
heard
I
that
was
shit.
gonna
It's like,
say-
well, I was gonna say I didn't hear
I
shit.
didn't hear it.
I'll be honest with you.
Sorry, guys, it's a bit loud.
I was gonna say from
I didn't hear your dialogue.
I was gonna say from storyline, from animation from music, and then that's when I was gonna say, but I didn't hear no music. I'm gonna be honest. To
Really?
me, just everything was
Music was-
perfect, bro.
So what's his point? What's his point? Was the music raw or not? Or no, he said
You
you couldn't
couldn't
not.
tell. You could hear it.
So like, why bring it up? Oh, just because you couldn't hear it?
Yeah, just because I couldn't
You
hear.
just weren't paying attention.
I just wasn't paying attention.
All right, yeah,
bro.
that's fair.
No, but just everything was. It was a masterpiece.
Okay,
bro.
so Danny rating 12 out of 10. Critical rating 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, Hav, your Danny rating.
Me? My Danny rating? Hey, come on, man. It's motion on the screen.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, girl. What you mean? That's just
It's
that's a
rewatchable.
30.
That's a 30 out of 10.
Just because I could, because shit went boom. I said, I bet.
we on it.
What?
We on it.
We
love
on
it. We love it. All right. That's good. Or did you want to go last, Hav? Because if you're gonna say a lot more.
I'll go last to make
Okay.
it to make
All
it
right,
fair.
that's fine. Mario,
'Cause
do
I
you
had a
wanna
lot
go
to say.
Okay, Mario, do you wanna?
I'll probably wait. Am I doing the Danny rating too, or are we?
I was just fucking around. If you
Okay,
want.
no, okay, I'll just get my actual review. I was like, are we continuing that?
If you want the
No,
Danny
no,
rating.
that was cool. Nah, this movie was a 10 out of 10. I really liked everything about it.
Damn, that's two so far.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
too
action, the music that I heard. I think it was cool.
That I heard.
that I heard. To the development with the Miles' mom and dad. I felt like I could relate to it in a way. When that one scene
Which one?
when they're on the rooftop celebrating his dad's promotion.
Oh.
And the mom, it's just them having a one-on-one. And before Miles leaves, she says, "Que Dios te bendiga." I was like, oh shit, we all can relate to that here. But in this room, I was like, oh damn. I don't know why. I was like, I think that's the first time I've ever seen that in a movie. You know what I mean? For me, at least. I don't know about y'all. But it was cool seeing that. It was cool seeing that. And that just made me love it more.
The icing on the cake would have been like déjate persino, like.
Yeah,
that
You
would
know
be
what I
nice to
mean?
see.
I was expecting her, but she didn't.
Yeah.
do it.
I feel
But,
like grandmas do that though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But okay, yeah, Mario.
No, it was just overall the action, the development with the characters from the old movie was great. Music was great. Action was great. Everything was great. 10 out of 10.
There you go. Cool. I guess I'm next. If you're a Spider-Man fan and if you absolutely love Spider-Man, you're gonna love this movie. I think this movie really had all the great qualities the first movie had, but honestly really improved it. You know what I mean? Like they did everything a lot better, in my opinion. The animation, the character development, the storyline, the characters, the emotions, the action sequences, everything was just like like improved upon the first one. And the first one, I believe, I gave a 10 out of 10. So this one is a 10 out of 10. In my opinion, I absolutely love
That's
this movie.
3 so far.
Yeah, and my Danny rating, I'll give this a. Let me see, man. Danny rating, I'm gonna give it a
100.
Yeah, like 1,000.
I would have made it
like
2,000.
like 1,000 and like 1,000 and like 2 cane sauces. add 2 cane sauces in that bitch, and that's Danny rating.
1,000 2 cane sauces in a Super Bowl ring. You fucking
No. 1,000 2 cane sauce. This is my remember Danny rating. 1,000 2 cane sauce and Superman ice cream.
No. 1,000 2 cane sauces, Superman ice cream, and She-Hulk in the background.
No. 1,000 2 cane sauce, Superman ice cream, She-Hulk in the background while bumping Drake. That's not rating.
No, 1,000 2 cane sauces, Superman ice cream while watching She-Hulk, bumping Drake, also while playing Valorant.
There you go. There you go. Off the rocker. Okay.
I like that.
But originally, 10 out of 10 for me.
So funny. Y'all went back and forth like 5 times.
Because we just made it about Danny, so it was like, what would Danny do? He'd be doing all that shit while playing Valorant.
CSGO crates. 5 CSGO crates.
Yeah. But only 10 keys.
Oh, shit. Okay, go ahead, Hop.
Oh man. All right, so for me, I guess before I give my rating, I just want to say to kind of give my quick thoughts, because I know this podcast did not exist in 2018, but to give my quick thoughts about Into the Spider-Verse just really quick. I thought that Into the Spider-Verse, right, the first movie, I thought it was really good, bro. I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. However, I think I'm in the minority when I say that I see a lot of people on social media say that Into the Spider-Verse is not only a good Spider-Man movie, but the best Spider-Man movie that we have gotten. That includes the Tobey movies, the Andrew movies, the Tom movies, and that's basically it. And personally, when I saw Into the Spider-Verse for the first time, and I think I saw it like 2 more times, like at home. I think I watched it once with my mom, once by myself. I liked it. I really liked it. But I didn't leave the theater with the feeling of this is the best Spider-Man movie. So when I heard people say that, I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm like, I don't see what you guys are seeing. I don't think this is the best Spider-Man movie. It's good, but it's not the best. And I don't know. Part of me was like, am I being biased? Am I just holding my live-action Spider-Man characters a little too high? Am I incapable of being just subjective, or objective? Which one? Objective, and just like put my nostalgia on the side. Is there something wrong with me? So when I would try to watch it a few more times to try to see if I could connect it more or whatever, I couldn't. And it's not to say that it's a bad movie. I like it a lot, but it's just I personally didn't see it as the best Spider-Man movie ever made, like everyone else seemed to make it seem like. And I thought maybe there was something wrong with me because I knew I was in the minority because everyone else was saying one thing and I was saying another. So for me, for my money, I still think it's a great movie. But for me, I would probably give Into the Spider-Verse an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
An 8. Maybe an 8.5. I'll get an 8.5 actually.
Okay. Not even a 9?
Like I said, I liked it, but I didn't leave impacted. Like, it was a good movie with a good story, but for some reason, it just didn't hit me as much as other people did. I don't know what it is, bro. Everything was there. It just didn't quite hit me.
For the record, right?
Right.
Can you say what is, so people know, right? What is the best Spider-Man movie in your opinion?
I mean, well, that really just comes down to personal opinion. It really comes down to personal preference. And I'm sure that we can make a video where we talk about who we think is the best, who has the best movies, who's the best Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. As far as movie, I would have to say, for me personally, it's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus. And that conversation in and of itself can be a whole podcast. I have a million things to say about that movie and what I think it does right and stuff like that.
And honestly, I'm not like, Into the Spider-Verse, I gave it 10 out of 10. This one, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love those movies, right? But I'm in the same boat as you have. We're like, dang, like, it's not the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I'm agree with you, like, dang, is it nostalgia, whatever? Because, this is one thing that, one of the many things I agree with you. I truly believe Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie. I'm definitely on the same boat as you.
Yeah, man.
And many people listening to this and like whatever, right?
I'm gonna disagree.
Definitely disagree and will say that we're biased. And
Sure.
could it be? Possibly, right? You know, objectively speaking, I mean, what could it be? Into the Spider-Verse? Who knows? But you know, I definitely agree with what you're saying. But even though I do think Into the Spider-Verse is 10 out of 10 for me, I still prefer Spider-Man 2.
Right.
So for me, like I said, I would give Into the Spider-Verse an 8.5. Sorry, I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
And I don't personally believe that it was the best Spider-Man movie ever made, like freaking Tom Holland declared it to be. Right. So when Spider-Verse 2 was coming out, and like I said, there was different directors, and I was worried it might flop. Blah blah blah. Now that I've actually seen it, I actually loved the shit out of this movie from beginning to end. First of all, for it having a 2.5 hour runtime, you don't feel the runtime. The pacing was perfectly evenly distributed throughout the whole movie. This movie could have been 3 hours and I wouldn't have complained. You know what I mean? This movie just was kept on going. The animation was cool. I liked that when you went to a different universe, the animation was slightly different corresponding to the universe. I think the themes about family and stuff like that were more heavily developed in this movie. And I think that, like what Danny said, this is a movie that took everything good about the first movie and amplified it even better than what the first movie
that.
did. Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah, that was me.
My fault. I lost track of who said
Danny
it.
looked at me like, really? Like, I didn't say that.
No. He was like,
He's like,
damn.
I'm not that
Danny
s-
was like, damn, I said that shit.
That's
I'm
pretty
raw.
cool.
Hey,
That's
I'm
pretty
raw
cool.
as fuck.
That's pretty cool. What you mean, girl?
But my fault. You said that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like this movie definitely was way better than the first one. And while I'm still not ready to say that this is the best Spider-Man movie, what I can say is that this is a way better contender to taking the crown, to taking that spot, even over No Way Home. Even over that movie. And I love the shit out of that movie too. So for my money, I felt like Across the Spider-Verse is a 10 out of 10.
Wow. All 10s, man. Across the board. This is going to be tough, man, for movie of the year. Because it's this one.
Bro.
And John Wick.
And Guardians.
And Guardians.
Fast X.
Fuck Fast X. That shit's trash.
Maybe
Watch
The Flash.
We still got many
Maybe
more
The
to come.
Flash.
Maybe
And
The
yeah, there's
Flash.
many other-
Oppenheimer? I'm praying to God.
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer?
And Transformers.
That's next week.
So
Yeah.
like we don't know, man. There's
quite a few movies.
A lot of good movies.
Bro,
It's
I
fucked
just
up that
realized
I'm leaning
this
towards-
year so far, we're only halfway, has slapped more than last year.
Yeah.
The only big movies that we saw up until this point was Batman and Everything Everywhere. There were not many
right.
other movies that had this hype and had 10s across the board.
That's true.
We gave him 3 10s in a matter of 2 months. When did John Wick
think
come
so.
out?
John Wick was
The
March.
only
On
10s. The only 10s this year was this one, Guardians, and
this
John
one.
Wick. Those are the only ones so far. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it, man. We're at 2 hours, over 2 hours, 20 minutes, man.
That's perfect.
Damn.
Yeah. So we had in-depth conversations. We pretty much covered everything. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, don't let your past haunt you guys. Take care.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.